Hey guys, welcome to Boots on the Ground, episode 4. I am your host, Gimbal B, and joining me this week is a bunch of new guests, actually. All new people who haven't been on before. Sadly, Kane, Cerebral, and Quick Gloves couldn't make it on. I think Kane's at a wedding, and Quick Gloves is at AA or something. So yeah, joining me this week is DS Heavy from Subdreddit. How's it going?
Going good, man.
Your webcam's frozen, but I'm sure that'll sort itself out.
I might have just been sitting still.
Very still, but
am I moving now?
Oh, it'll be fine.
No, you're still looking at the same text message you were looking at 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
It must be a really good text message. Anyway, to my left, I guess right on this screen, is Danny from... Oh, now he just broke the... Oh, no. Never mind. Tech problems. Danny from Dust University. How's it going, Danny?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm pleased to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Also joining him is Cookie Stein, a former critic of mine, I guess you could say. How's it going, Cookie?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Although
Good.
I ate quite a lot, so I'm going to be burping for the next hour.
Disappointed my webcam's not working because I had a special shirt for Quick Gloves, but I may as well announce that we're rebranding ourselves, and we will from now on be known as Fluke.
Okay, and the person laughing just then is Mavado from Sin Something Gaming.
Synergy Gaming.
Synergy Gaming. How's it going?
It's going alright. A bit bored, but that's all you can do right now, waiting for this new build to drop, which is a month away, so...
Yeah, at least we know when it is, though.
This is true.
True.
I already have the day booked off.
Nice.
Tragic but true, but there you go.
And also, finally, is Sindell Pellion from Caisson Cosmonauts. How's it going, Sindell?
It's going great, thank you.
Cool. Oh, well, I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We didn't do a show last week, so... but the first thing I want to talk about, however, is something that happened... Was it last night or this morning, depending on where you are?
Last night. I was there for it. Last night.
And that is Pro accidentally puts up a 300 million corp battle, and then Pig Fluffy Bounty Hunters comes along and steals the money. I mean...
Yeah.
Where to begin with this, really?
I don't know if it was so much stealing. Was it more of a candy from babies situation? Against PFB?
Well, if you watch the video, it was pretty much like... I was there during the match, like on the LF Battle channel. I got Night Eagle was typing in the channel during the match saying, you know, right now it's a red line, they're doing races and shit. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Has there been clarity? I haven't seen 100%. It said clearly though. Was it a 300 mil?
330 mil.
That's
330 mil collateral, I heard.
Oh, so yeah, 600 in total, yeah. So it will be, yeah. Wow. I mean, thankfully, not too big a secret here, D-Uni doesn't have that kind of money in its wallet to be able to do
Well,
that.
when you have 1,600 members, it's like easy to get that much money and just toss it away. I hope those members feel rewarded for their contributions to Pink Fluffy Bunnies.
Oh, yeah.
Although, like,
contribution all night.
if you divide that up, it's actually only like a match's worth of ISK per member.
It's not much.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be nice to have that many members, I guess.
Well, depends on your opinion.
Yeah, your opinion. It would be a nightmare for me to have 1,600 people to manage. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, actually, we have trouble managing, I think it's like 700 people at the moment. Although we just did a purge, so it's a bit less than that, but... yeah, like keeping randoms out of court battles and that kind of thing is not fun.
So I guess Contraband Joe had updated the thread saying it was an attempt at a money transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone
yeah.
else said he was drunk.
Yeah,
I kind of
just
believe the
damage
drunk
control.
one. Yeah, it's damage control. I believe the drunk story better.
Yeah, it's more plausible and it's almost more excusable because being drunk and not getting close enough to your TV to put your finger on and actually count how many zeros you've typed in makes a lot more sense than deciding to transfer 300 and if it's 30 million that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, why would you use a co-op battle to transfer money when you could just give the money to someone and then have him join the co-op that you want to donate the money to and just transfer it that way?
I guess it's faster. Because
Well,
there's like a
probably,
24-hour timer the other way.
But
Faster,
probably what I
but
mean.
But what's
So-
the hurry?
I mean, all you
Yeah,
have is
what's that?
he claimed
Exactly.
he claimed it was the time for his contacts to load, which that many members I can understand. But personally, if I'm transferring that much money, I think I would load my contacts, go out to dinner, watch a movie, come home, watch maybe a TV show, make a coffee, sit down, put the girls to bed, and then I'd put that on my alt. That's a courier alt.
It sounds so
Drop
familiar.
port, join, and then donate. You can always find something to do with time, but I don't buy that story for a second.
I mean, when you have people who some people just sit and monitor the contracts, and if they see, no one's going to sleep on a 330 mil contract. I mean, if I had seen it, I would have made my members donate the entire wallets to a co-op and took it. And
Yep.
we would have been
Yep.
330 mil richer.
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have been afraid to gamble that money against Pro. No offense to Pro,
No.
but
No,
there-
I'm not knocking them by saying that. But yeah, I did exactly what Movado said. If I saw that pop up, it would have been a CTA going out. I need to top that up to 330, and we're playing right now. And I would have taken whoever was online.
Yeah.
Their
Although-
name's kind of deceiving.
a little bit.
Really
I think
pro.
Contraband Joe was a bit contract happy that night because when I was checking the contracts yesterday, he had like between 3 to 5, 10 million is contracts up. We took one of them, somebody else took the others, and then later that night, like before our match, because right after Pink Fluffy Bounty Hunters took that 330 mil from them, we had a 10 mil match scheduled against Pro as well, which we took. So
So we can
he was
assume they're
drunk
not
OD
broke.
and just set up a bunch of contracts. Well, they're not broke. You can't be broke with that amount of members if they all donate at least 1 mil is. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
just
mean-
think
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. I just think using drunk as your excuse. I mean, I'm drunk 90% of the time I play, at least. And I mean, the worst thing I've done is buy 300 of my heavy suits in one night. But I had the money for it, and I didn't go off and buy Logi suit skills or something stupid with skill points. You always know what you're doing when you're drunk. Sometimes you just don't have the right mind to do the right thing, I guess. But making a mistake that big and using being drunk, I'd definitely have to be completely, totally smashed to where I couldn't even really use my controller to be doing something like that.
To the point where your finger.
I don't buy
wouldn't
that
actually-
either. I think they just bit off more than they can chew, and now that they got spanked, they're doing all kinds of damage control, and it's just making them look worse.
the thing is, if you watch it, like, how does the regular member feel when they see their CEO gamble away 330 mil like it was nothing? Like, how do the regular members feel at the moment? Because if it was an all co-op, like I know some of our members would probably feel different to donating if they know their money is just going to be wasted because their CEO got drunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pleased, especially depending on whether they do have a distribution reimbursement programs or something like that, to see money used like that, regardless of what the circumstances were. I wouldn't be thrilled.
Like I say, I can imagine the backlash if I did that, but fortunately I don't drink anymore, so it's not really going to be a problem for us.
I feel like
Drink anymore. It's because of silly things like that.
I feel like if that happened in Subdreddit though, we just wouldn't stop laughing.
I don't see Dent doing that.
No, I don't see Dan. Although, you know,
He's
maybe...
too, I don't know. He's very strict. I don't think he would make a mistake that big without, like, you know, at least being able to back it up a little bit. Like if he you know, did the 300 million ISK whatever corp battle or whatever it is, if he would have did that against PRO, we wouldn't have cared. We would have been like, okay, let's do it. But, you know, at the same time, if he did it against Pink Fluffy Bounty Hunters or the Imperfects or somebody that's obviously more talented in the game than we are at the moment, I mean, we would have pissed off people.
We need to get Sindell to do a parody of that. What was it 90s song, Cotton Eye Joe?
That's not exactly my style, but I'll try. That would be very embarrassing, but I would have to get drunk for that, and then I can just blame it on being drunk. There we go.
That's right. But just make sure you can't use zeros.
Perfect excuse for everything.
Okay. Alright, one last thing before...
That's usually my excuse for everything, yes.
Do you think I drink so much?
Okay. One last thing before we move on to the next bit of news. Like, let's say there was a 300 million corp battle up. Who wouldn't you fight over it? Like, just in general. Like, who would you go, like, no, like, I'm not going to fight them? This is mostly aimed at Movado, I guess.
It depends, really. If we have the money to blow, then it is no one we wouldn't fight in the game. But at this point, when we're not the biggest corp and we don't have that sort of issue that's tossed around, gambling it on a 50-50 chance that you might win or lose just isn't the smartest idea. Sure, we may feel a bit confident and do it because we like a challenge, but it's, at the end of the day, you got to think about the future and Planetary Conquest coming up. Just gambling away that just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Right, well, I guess that's it. Hopefully, like, we get to hear the true story, although it might already be out, but... Whatever, I guess he was just drunk and made a mistake. Moving on. Art contest that's happening at the moment, and I haven't really heard anyone mention, like, at all anywhere. Like, have any of you been looking at this at all, or following the thread, or seeing any of the entries?
I haven't seen any
Somebody
entries.
like
I
I'll
remember it
find
being
this.
mentioned. That's about it.
I looked through the thread, I think yesterday. I was just skimming through it. And I saw some pretty sweet stuff, like legitimate, you know, graphic design stuff that people have put together. And I don't know if it's going to be more of an image thing or if it's going to be somebody, you know, the people that win are going to be the people that do something outlandish and crazy and, you know, intense. So, I mean, the stuff I saw was great. And I don't know who did what, and, you know, I don't really remember off the top of my head any specific ones that I saw. But, you know, the ones I did see are pretty sweet. So, I mean, it's probably going to be a success. One of the things I did see on there was that by entering into the contest, you, like, release all of your rights to the I guess, image or product, whatever you come up with. So I'm guessing they're going to be using it in some kind of promotion or something. I don't know. That's just what I think. They're going to end up using it for their own good. They being CCP.
Yeah. It sounds like the Battle Cruisers competition they had in EVE. Some pretty sweet designs from there. I'm just going through the thread now. I haven't had a chance all day because I've been out all day. So I didn't have a chance to have a look at it. But there's some pretty good ones on there that I've seen so far.
I'm gonna have a look now.
Although I must say, I
saw
the first one I quite like.
Let's see the first one.
We need a big heads mode. That's all I'm saying.
DK mode. But yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that I want to mention from this is I kind of wish we had a forum section for this like Eve has. Like I kind of miss the whole, like, because Eve has My Eve as a forum section, and I kind of wish there was one for Dust, so I could go and look at these more easily.
Right.
Petition.
Yeah. Well, if someone from CCP is watching, then feel free to add that, because I actually want to put my videos somewhere on the forums, and I don't think General's the right place.
Exactly.
I thought General was the place for everything.
Kind of, but having a specialized place for user-created content, it would make it a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I would probably still post in general because not as many people are going to be looking into that little specific section. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get views and subscribers and stuff. I'm just starting my whole YouTube thing, so you know I'm trying to build up. It's hard to build up whenever you can't get publicity. So I'm 50-50 on it. I don't really care which way it goes, but it would be nice to have at least an area for user created content, because some people, like I said, they make some pretty sweet stuff. It's interesting to go through and fiddle around with stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of have to rely on word of mouth to find things as well. Like, there was that really good South Korean player who plays with a pad and does, like, some really good, or really impressive sniping. And, like, I wouldn't have found that guy otherwise.
A South Korean player?
Yeah, I think he's South Korean.
Not Karas?
Yeah.
He's in Synergy.
Alright. You guys have good snipers. Because you have him and Hawkeye as well.
Yes, we have, I'd say we have probably the best collection of snipers in Dust. We have him, Hawkeye, Gem Cutter, and Dark Unit 52 as well. Some pretty nasty snipers in the game.
Yeah, I fought against you guys, and it was Hawkeye on the field.
Yeah.
And that was not fun.
Yeah, I seem to remember having a piece of lead sent through my character from Hawkeye in a pub match at some point. The name rings a bell.
But yeah, I'd love to have a forum section where I could find more stuff like that.
Would make sense.
Yeah. So hopefully soon.
It's just one of the many things that is lacking in Dust that Eve has that CCP really needs to step up on.
You just need to bug them. You need to bug them incessantly. Seriously, that's how you get stuff done. Bug them and bug them and bug them.
I'm bugging them constantly on Twitter at the moment. They're going to get some real stick and fanfest from me. I've got a whole folder full of suggestions from my members. Do this. And I go, yeah, okay, I'll get to it. If I get them drunk enough, we might get it. Might get it happening for us. But
they're going to be super busy at FanFest, because I know, like, everybody else I know is basically doing what you're doing there. Just like building up a list of things to tell devs.
Yes. So the first round table is literally the folder's going to be like, bang! Now we start.
You just picture like 5 people doing that. Oh. Anyway, moving on. Like, art contests should be good. The results will be done in a couple of days, I think. It closes on the 3rd of April. So, like, this will be going up on the 31st, so yeah, like, you'll have 3 days from when this goes up to enter the art contest. The link will be down below. Moving on, Caldari Prime event. Now, I kind of want to know what people's thoughts were on this, like, in general, because I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and I especially enjoyed I think it's like 16,000 views I got on YouTube because of it, but like, what are you guys, what were you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting direction CCP are going to go with this. It's certainly one way of getting the community behind it. I mean, our forums were alive. I mean, I posted saying, this is what's happening, go fight for whoever you want, and there was a lot of Caldari and Galante Hill feeling flying on the forums. But we're all mercs, we don't care who we shoot as long as we're getting paid. So it was interesting on our forums. But the whole event, I think, was very well done. Although the actual video at the end that showed the whole Dust Eve link and then the Titan blowing up. That should have been released a lot sooner, straight after the Titan blew up. So there was this gap where everyone was going, well, is that it? Is that all that happened? And then you get the video 4 or 5 days later, and you go, oh, right, okay, that would have been cool 4 days ago. But that's the only thing they messed up, I think, on it with that one, is just the video not coming out in time. But hopefully they're going to carry on with more of that, because I found it a lot of fun.
Yeah, I read some Eve side criticisms of it from people that have been looking for a lot more out of player events for a while. But for the first one, first lore building player event that cuts across both games, and going on simultaneously, even though we didn't have direct interaction back and forth, I thought it was a good showing. I mean, the number of people you'd hop into one of those Merc contract battles and see standing around there just staring at the skybox, amazed at what they dropped in for us. Like I said, I took 10 straight deaths just standing around staring and watching the metallics float through the air. So I mean, it was nice to see some atmospherics back in our maps. It's been quite a while since we had some of those maps with dust swirling around and stuff, and the burning debris and stuff. I was impressed.
I mean, I put up a video of me just looking straight at the Titan because, I did another one first because it was a week. Yeah, it was a week before they accidentally put up the Merc contract for it.
You confused one of my guys. I was on the Friday or whatever when it started, and he was like, "Oh no, I already did one of those battles." I'm like, you were in one of the ones when it was. How long was the leak skybox those contracts up for? Do you remember?
It was an hour.
It was about an hour?
Yeah.
I guess he hopped on one of those. He thought he was in the event already. Like, nope, it's right now.
Oh.
I don't know, accidental leak or promotion?
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense if it was a promotion thing, because, it got a lot of attention. But
I think it got a lot more attention our side, I think. I mean, those of us coming into this game world without Eve side experience or much knowledge of Eve, don't really have a strong attraction to the player events other than hopping in and getting your whatever your swag is, but it got people talking about it when it was out a week ahead.
From our point of view, the event was interesting. I mean, it was fun, like Cookie said, to see the Titan and stuff and the different atmospheric effects back in the maps. We just felt it could have been at the first one CCP did. It's all right, but we felt next one has to be a lot better, because the main problem we had is that you couldn't pick a side that you wanted to fight for. You had to just go in randomly, and that to me took away a lot of the immersion and stuff for the game, because some people, like for us, we want to support the Caldari faction for faction warfare, and not being able to choose the Caldari side kind of took away from the whole getting involved in the event. Like, people, after a couple of games, people were just like, well, it's a nice pretty map we got, but we're not really having an effect on the overall outcome since everyone's just thrown randomly on a side.
Yeah, I kind of wish they'd fixed that before the event happened. Although technically you could do what I was doing and just suiciding if I didn't get the right side.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
I was running along maps and they were like going, like people just like, I'm like, shoot, and then all of a sudden they just go bang. I went, all right, okay, so you're clearly Caldari.
The good old 0 and 20 in an ambush.
What a beast.
Wasn't last on my team.
No, that was one good thing about it.
And at least you guys got to fight, so there's that, because a lot of the EVE players, 6 hours before the event, they had capped the amount of people who could be in system, so we were all sitting outside gates going, that's it? So, I mean, a lot of my corpies were sniping at global criminals as they were coming through the gates. They were just like, okay, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, and having fun doing that. But we didn't even get to go in and see it.
That's impressive though. It was capped 6 hours before the event.
Yeah, we were trying to get in, and people were tweeting and getting so angry, and CCP's like, sorry, capped at 1,000. I realize there's 17,000 of you trying to get here, but you can't go in.
Wow. Now, is it with not knowing? Is that kind of thing happened with player events before, where it's capped in a system, and that many people have showed up that early and gotten locked out, or was this special?
There's only been a couple of times where they have put caps on ahead of time. One of them was the Burn Jita protest that we had. People were just going in and killing everything, and they capped the system at 2,000. So even if you had a jump clone in there, if you tried to get in, they would spit you to another system.
Right.
But when they have big player events, like CCP goes out every year around the holidays in ridiculously hard to kill ships that are full of very expensive loot, and if you kill them, then you get to scoop the loot. But there are thousands and thousands of players that follow them around to get this stuff, and they don't really cap it. It's slow. Tie-dye sucks,
right.
But it wasn't like this.
Yeah, I guess they jumped it up to 2,000 as soon as the Titan went down. It took enough off the node that they let another 500 in, I think, because I guess they were controlling it in real time, what they were allowing in and what they weren't.
Yeah, but by then all the fun was done.
Yeah. Kind of what Movado touched on. That's right. Well, earlier is I think it was a really good first step for both games together, and a player event and adding to lore for those that like that. I'd just like to see them try and take it a step further. Like Movado saying that you couldn't pick our side, you couldn't pick whether you're going in Galante or Caldari, which of course the Dust 321 movement was calling for AFK'ing and MCCs and that kind of thing, and to give people the choice for which side they do want to fight on, and let the lore fall where it may, depending on the outcome, would be impressive to see them pull that off instead of it being quite so scripted. I don't know if that's beyond what they can do right now. I think I've seen them say that, but as long as that's something that they're moving forward towards, it would be great for both games.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, because I was an EVE player before I was a Dust player, I used to do live events like end of last year, and nobody was doing them, so it's actually kind of nice to see that too many people are wanting to do them now as a change. Because like you'd get maybe 50 people or 100 people to ones before. So like, how many, like overall it was over 2,000?
2,000 once the Titan went down, 1,000 at the start when they capped it, and I think I recall reading that they let in about another 500 before the Titan went down. So it might have been 1,500 when the Titan went down, I think.
I know there was like hundreds of people on like the gates leading out of the system.
Well, there was some big scam done, wasn't there? Outside with I didn't understand the whole thing. Somebody sold kill rights off of an alt or something like that, and I saw some of the chat logs. Somebody made a killing sitting around
I remember
outside.
that. Yeah, I think some guy went GCC on someone, or something like that, and he got kill rights, and he just put them up for anybody to do that, because you can do that now in EVE even, and anybody can attack that guy who like does that. So I
think it was another case of somebody didn't count their zeros.
Maybe he was drunk.
Could have been drunk. That's a more legitimate excuse. Cheers.
But overall, like, the event went pretty well, I thought. I mean, like, for their first one, like, it actually felt nice. Like, there was a lot of atmosphere, and like, all the burning debris on the ground, and the skyline, and the Titan in the background, like.
And I guess they pulled a lot of resources to do it. It was only I can't remember who, but it was only one dev that was multi-boxing. I think he was running 3 Moroses. Other than that, I think it was 1 man per ship on the dev side, CCP side.
Yeah. I know Falcon was piloting the Titan. So he now has that kill loss, or loss
What?
mail even.
I guess they're not letting them fly their next Titan.
Anyway, moving on from Caldari Prime event, it was good and fun, but like they obviously need to sort of improve over time. There's another event coming up, although this isn't really a sort of special event. This is just a kind of log on and get gear event. It's the Human Endurance event, which starts on the 3rd and runs till the 7th. And
Human
Endurance event.
5 matches a night. Oh my god, it's gonna kill people.
I guess
I'm just going to drop down.
hang on, I think I'm going to open up the link now. The prizes, they really just want people to like get those enhanced kinetic stabilizers or whatever they're called. Because I don't think I've ever used them. And I guess they just want people to use them.
Oh, I like those.
What do they actually do?
That's the those are the proto ones, are they not? 12% speed increase.
Oh, they're the run speed ones.
Yeah, you stack that, the run speed, not movement speed, which they should affect both, which pisses me off. But yeah, you stack. Well, no, I'm not going to say that.
Although I noticed with the rewards, I'm not feeling the assault love. Shotgun, submachine. Yeah, no assault.
Oh, come on, there's always too much assault love. They should have given some heavy love.
Oh, the shotgun's great on the assault suit. What are you talking about?
One day they're gonna give Heavies something, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, there's no heavy loot. I guess you could get the run speed one, or the sprint speed one, I should say.
I just want some special guns. That's it. Maybe a suit or two. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want something that I can potentially use one day. That's it.
Technically,
Warbarge
You
Bling.
could use the speed ones. Make a troll.
Yeah.
That runs really fast.
You throw that on your Type 2, max up your endurance.
And your speed, and you can keep up with some people.
That was my that was my Type 2 heavy
that's
build as soon as they came out, before Type 2s became fashionable on the heavy.
I mean, technically, you could use the shotgun, the submachine gun, and
How many
stack
heavies
those
do you see
kinetic
running around?
Oh, come on. That's terrible on a heavy, though. Like a shotgun heavy. Like, you're going to take 5 minutes to get in range with someone.
No, but that's why you use the enhanced kinetic catalyzers.
I guess technically, yes. But I'm talking like heavy specific items. Like they've done, scout and assault.
Or even just some heavy suits.
That would be beautiful.
But yeah, if you're a scout, you'll love this event.
I think it's a decent promotion. I mean, for those of us that play, I mean, 5 matches a night really isn't endurance. But I mean, it's an incentive, right? Get guys out, get guys playing that are maybe more casual. And I was talking with Kaz with the French, and I think he did the math on it, and I think maybe the top the top tier rewards for each day are worth up to about $500,000. And I mean that's a decent reward for us with the our ISK value dust said right now.
If we can use them.
If you can use them, you hold on to them. You wait till we get corp hangers in a year or two, and you can give them to a corp mate.
Oh my god!
Or you can put them up on the market in about 3 years.
Don't tease me with the core hangers, please.
The rewards come attached with soon TM at the end of them.
Engraved along the barrel.
I think I'm going to make that heavy suit, though, with those rewards. Just try and make a heavy suit out of them. Do a video for it.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll show everybody how terrible of an idea it is.
But yeah, for those interested in taking part, Wednesday you get 10 shotguns, Thursday you get 10 submachine guns, Friday you get, 10 sniper rifles, Saturday you get 5 Scout B-Series blueprint, or drop suits even, and Sunday you get 35 run speeds, whatever they're called.
And that's all top tier, right?
No, it's all like mid-tier, not like the top stuff.
No. I mean the high tier of the event.
Yeah, that's all the 5 matches
Tier
a
3
day.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
like an hour playing.
Oof. Unless you're in Subdreddit, then it's like 3 hours of planning.
Oh, just 5 ambushes. That's all you need.
Because we like to talk and bicker and then talk, and then we'll play a game.
Yeah, there'll be a link down below for people who are interested in reading more on it. Oh, anyone have any last thoughts on that before we move on?
Nah.
Nope, I'm good.
Alright, fair enough. Next one, this is more of an EVE news thing, although I guess it could affect us Dust players, is Montolio steps down as HBC leader. And I'm going to ask Sindell about this before anyone else. What are your thoughts on like all this happening?
Well, technically, he didn't step down as HBC leader. He was the leader of Test, and they are a main part of HBC, but Sword Dragon from Pandemic Legion, he is the overall head of the HBC, and he is still very much there. As for Montolio stepping down, my esteemed leader, until a week and a half ago, when we decided that Test was being freaking crazy and we needed to run away. You know, I joined Test over a year ago, and Montolio's always been there, and he was a very active part of our community, but over the last few months, something just felt off. And then as the war with, goons in the CFC escalated and then actually became a serious issue, I honestly I stopped undocking because I didn't want to shoot them, and I really didn't want them to shoot me. But I think in order to get the HBC to where they want to go, that a leadership shift needed to happen. I'm just seriously relieved that Montolio decided to take it upon himself to realize that there was a problem there and to leave before more drama escalated and Test fell to crap. So those are my 2 cents.
I mean, from the Dust side of things, or does someone else want to jump in there?
I don't know. It just came across to me from what I read about it as maybe just too much too soon, too rapid growth. It sounded like he wasn't having fun.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking about having to ally with people that he didn't really sort of appreciate.
He didn't like them. You can tell he didn't like them.
Yeah.
He did it because he felt like he had to. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you had ever gone in the Test forums, the amount of incredibly colorful words that were being thrown around were very amazing. We didn't like who we were forced to play nice with, is what it was coming down to. So, I mean, when it all comes down to it, we're playing games. It doesn't matter, EVE, Dust, we're playing games. So when it gets to the point where you're losing sleep over it, you're stressing out over it, it's affecting your personal life, it's time to just walk away.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, what's the point?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, I kind of bring this up. I mean, it's more of an EVE news story, but like in Dust right now, like Subdreddit, Pro, and was it SVER Truebloods are all allies because we're all in the HBC. So if something happened to the HBC, we suddenly wouldn't be allies anymore. So it does have some impact. It's sort of interesting to see like something happening in EVE actually having a sort of notable impact on Dust.
Yeah, it's an interesting ripple effect, but I think with the leadership shift in Test and the people who are stepping up to take more control of the HBC, that we don't have to worry about it breaking up anytime soon. I really hope I didn't just jinx them, because that would suck. Next week, we find out Test fail cascades. Sindell's fault.
I think
But
the plan for...
like-
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, the plan for Subdreddit and Pro is that we're gonna like go on the same planet at the beginning. I don't know if I'm meant to tell that to anybody, but I don't care.
Oh no.
I mean, I think everybody saw that coming a mile away anyway. But
Allies on the same planet? What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, but if we suddenly weren't allies anymore, then it could go really badly. Oh.
No, it wouldn't.
Is there a point though any longer to planning yourself on the same planet?
I think it's more of a, like, if you get attacked by someone, or like if there's a third party on the planet and they're not allied with you, you can both, like, focus your attention on them.
Well, we can't reinforce ourselves with clones. You know? So I mean really the only consideration is how much clone loss are you willing to risk with how far to come in.
Yeah, I mean it would be...
You see that?
I mean it might be
Wasn't it-
something like... because you lose clones the further away you are, right?
Yeah, unless you have the one type of facility that improves your percentage.
Yeah.
but you still lose, though.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't even final yet. Like for those.
No, I'm sure it'll all be changed anyway before May 6th.
No, it's just interesting with what was said about any clones from one corporation to another corporation moved into a district is considered a hostile attack. It kind of cuts out the point of us having alliances. Eve side, or Dust side, sorry, anyways. I mean, Eve side, you can still have anyone in your alliance provide OBs, but Dust side, an alliance really doesn't mean anything, if that's the way it's
I mean, I can think of some useful things, like if you're both on the same planet and then that third party comes in or they take a foothold, then you can have one of your, like, let's say Subdreddit attacks one day, and then Pro attacks the next day, and then Subdreddit attacks again.
I get it. And then you could just wear them down.
Yeah, because I mean that's basically what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, but you're still at 100% clone survival rate within the same solar system. That's what I'm saying. Is the whole let's get a planet isn't a tactic anymore. It's a convenience sake to be able to say we as an alliance hold a planet. We haven't seen anything on bonuses for holding a planet, holding a system. You're only losing a clone once you're a jump out, and that's only 10%. I mean, 2 jumps, you're only losing 20. That's if you don't even have the bonus facility from where you're jumping your clones. So I'm just saying it takes away a lot of that alliance power Dust side, unless it's changed. We don't have final information.
Yeah. Although like Pro and Subdreddit will take any advantage we can get. Like, no matter how small.
Would be worried.
Are you saying you guys jump all over stuff?
I'm just gonna leave this conversation there. Right, so... God, there's so much news. Dust 514 War Council coming up. So yeah, we had this whole, like... 2 weeks ago we had Hans come on and we were talking about Dust on the CSM, and now it's completely irrelevant because we're getting our own little bureaucracy in place. And I know some people have been approached. I know they've already started doing that process, and some people have been getting turned down and all that kind of thing. But what are your guys' thoughts on us having our own little go-to people to talk to CCP?
Who wants to go
personally?
first?
Personally, I think it's good if the people they get are good people, like people that know what they're doing, like people that give good feedback. Also, I think it's good to have people people who are good at feedback in certain roles, like gameplay balances, people who are good at thinking up new ideas, how features would work. Like, for instance, with this Planetary Conquest coming out, you've been seeing a lot of people on the forums posting about how the mechanics might be broken, how to fix it, what tweaks CCP can make. And you also have people who post on general feedback on how the gameplay actually posts, and I think how the gameplay actually plays, and I think you need a group built up around those two sorts of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's no real point in just having 7 people from the same corp who do exactly the same thing on it. But
Yeah.
So lots of different roles. But like, what are like the different things that like you would want represented?
For me, the big thing I'm big on is gameplay balance. If you look at any of my feedback posts on the forums, I've always go with gameplay balance because that's what I focus on. I don't get too much into, like, for instance, a lot of people are commenting on Planetary Conquest. For me, I won't get too into it until it actually is in my hands and I can actually play around with it. I don't like to speculate too much on how it should be and how it shouldn't be. I just go based on what I can actually play right now, and that's what I focus on is gameplay balance. The last of the feedback I did was based on tanks because that's what I specialize in and does. And currently tank gameplay is broken in my perspective.
Is it tank play you said?
Yeah, tank v tank gameplay is broken at the moment in Dust.
How so?
CCP messed up the passive skilling, so basically you find rail tanks dominate everything in Dust. There's no more. A couple builds ago, what got me into tanking in Dust, like a couple builds ago, the beauty of it was getting into someone's like in Eve, like getting into someone's optimal range. Like if a guy had a rail tank, he had to be cautious of not letting the guy with the blaster tank get in close range and deal damage. You don't have that in Dust anymore because since the passive damage bonuses got added to the skills, the passive skills have been broken and actually give you more damage than you should be getting. So you see railguns doing double the amount of damage they should be doing. You have railguns that output at 5,400 a shot when they should be at max outputting like around 3,000 a shot. So it takes away some of the gameplay when a rail tank could beat any tank in long range, mid range, or close range combat in 2 to 3 shots.
Yeah, you could like kill everything with that. I think that's why I've started seeing people use rail tanks. Like
Yeah,
I was watching... Oh, sorry.
If you have a rail tank on the field, you see a lot of the top tankers in the game, in corp battles especially, they drop a rail tank. A rail tank could shut down the entire map. Like it's difficult. Like I usually prefer to run blasters because I run armor tanks, but I do have a rail tank as well. And you just need one rail tank, and it pretty much shuts down the map. Then you have 2 rail tanks going at each other. It turns into this Call of Duty style tank gameplay where the first one to land his shot wins the tank fight, and that's, to me, is very boring and unsatisfying kill.
That doesn't really sound anything like actual tank warfare either.
It doesn't.
So, I mean, hopefully that gets fixed on May. With the May patch even. But I didn't know that rail tanks were like that broken.
Oh, they are. Yeah. Kylie from Imperfects and myself, we both have 2 separate threads up showing that the tanks output way much more damage than they actually should because of the passive bonuses. Even the damage mods don't output the correct value. According to Kylie's tests, damage mods should be giving you 10% bonus, but instead they give you a 21% bonus.
No, per module.
Yeah, per module.
There was a post the other day. I didn't get to check myself. Just my guys brought it to my attention. Actually, just last night. CCP Wolfman said that damage mods are functioning properly, and for our R&D that we did last night to check that, it appears to be true.
Yeah, the damage mods are functioning properly. They're stacking properly. They just output the wrong value according to the test that we did. And I don't know if it's the same for infantry, but at least for vehicles, it gives you. Yeah, we were checking, but it gives you the wrong value.
We were checking infantry damage modules. We've had that whole when stacking penalties are applied properly going for a long time, but like I said, I haven't been able to double check where it was posted, but I was told CCP Wolfman put up that they are working, and my guys actually doing the crunching the numbers. It appeared to be so last night anyways. I'll probably get an update on full numbers tonight.
Like we have another fun fact. The DCU module on vehicles also is broken. It actually takes away from your resistance and actually gives you resistance. That's another thing I didn't know until Kylie posted it to me. And when I went and tested it, it's like, why would I have this when it's actually making my tank weaker when it's supposed to make my resistance stronger? So that's another mod just broken.
I've actually been using one of those, so I think I'm going to take that off my tank tonight. That's certainly good to know. Oh, people watching this show are going to like know everything now.
I hate tanks.
Tactics.
Can't stand them.
Oh, although you get a forge
On the,
gun and then they're dead.
On the war council
They're fun to
thing,
take
though.
out, though.
But you're a
there's-
heavy though. You shouldn't hate
Well,
tanks, you're
earlier
heavy.
we were playing. We did some queue syncing earlier, and we had like 8 Subdreddit and 8 on the other team, and they called in a tank and took me out real quick, right off the bat. So I switched out to my AV, and I had my breach forge gun out, and I took out the tank that got me. So then they called in another one, and the one that I think it was a Sagaris, the first one. I don't know what they had on it, but it took forever to kill it. And I guess they got pissed off, and they pulled out a gun logi. I took out that one. Pulled out another gun logi. I took out that one. I ended up taking out 4 tanks that game. And it was hilarious. Like, we lost the game, obviously. It was a regular ambush game, so we didn't have any, railguns or blaster turrets or anything. So, our team was not really, I don't know, we weren't ready for it. So, I take out those 4 tanks, took out 2 LAVs or something, finished like 12-1 with like 1,600 war points just from shooting stuff with my forge gun, and we still lost the game. Like, I think the tanks kind of screw up regular ambush. In OMS, it's fine, because I think, it's easier to adapt. But to adapt in regular ambush, you have to die. So
I'm glad you say that though, because I made a post on the forums like I think a week or 2 ago about how CCP should have regular ambush just be infantry only, for that very same reason that there's no supply depot drops and no installations to help counter the tanks. So you find a lot of the top tankers in the game, they go into ambush and just farm defenseless infantry players and rack up a bunch of kills.
And the funny thing is I'll send them a message, not like a hate mail message, but I'll send them a message being like, why don't you go to OMS? And they're like, well, the kills are easy. Well, of course the kills are easy, because these guys aren't, they're using assault rifles and laser rifles. They're not going to be able to take you out. So, I'll be happy with ambush once there's infantry only thing implemented. LAVs, they're easily combatable. My heavy can take out a LAV pretty quick.
Yeah, even an HMG can kill a LAV.
Right. So it's just I guess it would be no HAVs. That would be the only thing that I would think of that really is unbalanced in regular ambush games.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
And especially if you have a team full of blueberries or you play by yourself, it's impossible.
It's horrible.
You
it's
basically
horrible.
just play hide and seek with the tank the whole game, and just wait for the game to be over. Because if you don't have organized squads that actually know what to do, those tanks are going to be done. You're not going to have a way to win the game at all. And we lost that game, and I took out 4 tanks. If it's like that, where you can take out 4 of their tanks and still lose, because the tanks, they still did relatively well. They'd kill 3 or 4 people before I could even get to them. So, it's not fun. It makes regular ambush not fun at all. That's why I play OMS like 90% of the time, because tanks are scared. No offense to any tankers.
I'm a tank, and I'm telling you straight up, I prefer to play OMS than regular ambush. When I play regular ambush, like most of my SP is in the tanks, and when I play regular ambush, I use regular ambush as a way to keep my gun game sharp. But when I go in there and I see people dropping 3 tanks in it, it just makes me wonder, like, what are you doing? Like, do you need 3 tanks to win this game? Like,
Exactly.
Like, you don't need it. There's no supply depot.
Right. Every time I go into a regular ambush game, it's tank here, tank there. Okay, they're down. Okay, more tanks coming in. All right. It's not fun. It ruins the game type for me.
I mean, like,
But
I've
it's really
discovered
important.
some great ways to, like, make the best of that situation. Like, you just go with a free suit with a drop-up link solo and just rack up respawn points.
Right. Try to get an orbital to hopefully take one of the 6 tanks that are on the field out.
Yeah. Yeah, they got, like, super fast orbitals as well. Like,
The
just
thing
'cause they're
is,
racking up
a lot
weapons.
of the new people also go in regular ambush because that's what they're familiar with, like regular team deathmatch. And when you have these tanks that's being dropped, and these guys, these new players with no SP invested into AV, like it makes people want to quit the game, and you shouldn't be making people hate the game the first couple of times they play it. Especially when the game has a learning curve, you should be encouraging people to stick with the game, and that's what I feel like an infantry-only ambush mode would be a lot better, and just leave the tanks on OMS, because tankers are afraid of the installations, especially when the installations and supply depots keep dropping randomly. It will keep the
Right.
tankers on their toes. And to me, as a tanker, I prefer to be kept on my toes because that keeps my concentration high when I know I can be shot from behind if the guy behind me hacks this installation or a supply depot drops behind me. It makes me pay attention more than just sitting there and farming infantry while I'm sipping on a beer or some of the random shit.
So I guess, well, I mean, we were talking about the War Council, so I guess this is something we can bring up to them.
Yeah, we got off the War Council pretty quick there.
Yeah, but well, I mean, like,
on the War Council though, I just say that I'm really glad they decided to go separate. I mean, all that talk way back of Dust guys throwing in for CSM was just kind of ridiculous.
Comico. I would say
It's exactly what we needed was a separate, baby council like what we're getting, and have someone, have especially one person on our council that is highly knowledgeable about EVE, that can act as a go-between if they start having any CSM War Council crosstalk, and hopefully there's somebody on CSM that at least has a little bit of Dust knowledge, so there can be a little bit of collaboration once we do start getting things into the game that interact and go back and forth. My only concern with it being done fully behind closed doors is some of the community members ingratiating themselves to devs over a long period of time. Other than that, I like what they're doing. I just have concerns on what the selection criteria is and who we do end up with. But I know this is just the tester one that they're selecting, and they've said it's going to be up for voting, however the hell they figure out voting for us for a proper one.
Nightmare. Don't envy their job at all figuring that one out.
Yeah, good luck.
No neo-Nazis, hopefully.
Oh, God.
Let's not get started on that, okay?
No, let's not. I mean, for anybody like curious as to why there's a guy running for CSM who, like, has said some questionable things, and that, like, the EVE community are up in arms about that, because I do know that some of the people watching don't know EVE. But yeah, War Council's coming soon, I guess. I mean, I could ask if any of you like been asked to go on the War Council, but I know like none of you are allowed to say anything, even if you have been. So,
well, put it this way, I didn't get an email, and I was very thankful. I really don't need the extra workload at the moment.
yeah, I'm personally perfectly fine just doing this. And
Having spoken to Keld and Ravan when the amount of work that had to go on with CSF, I am so glad they haven't asked me. Really don't need that.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it filled with people that have honest intentions towards the community, that aren't putting themselves forward for any kind of selfish, egotistical reasons. You know, as long as the guys on there have community first, and they're open-minded to, you know, all the different aspects of the game, and aren't trying to throw any kind of favoritism down towards one section or another. That's all I ask for.
I mean, like, who would you want to be on the War Council then, or like just any names that come to mind?
I'd throw Kane in there. I had a conversation with Kane, and we were talking about the whole what were they calling it, CPM. Back in the tournament, we had a good long chat. That was one of the things we talked about. And that conversation with Kane actually swayed my opinion in general on the Imperfects a bit at the time. I would vote for Kane on that. He's knowledgeable both sides, and my read from him is that he does have the community first. That'd be a name I'd throw in there.
Yeah, I think I would also throw Kane's name in there, given the choice. Anyone else?
Well, Kane would probably get my vote as well, at the risk of making this a unanimous. Kane's been very helpful on the forums, so he would be. And from the dealings that other people I know have had with him, they all consider him a straight shooter. So that's really all you need on the CS. The War Council. I really hope they come up with a better name than War Council. But like you say, you don't need anyone there that's there for the EP. You really don't need that. That's not going to help the game at all. It should be always about the community.
Yeah, I've already directly experienced that ingratiating self-interest in the first player event, and I just don't want to see it happen. It's something that affects everybody.
No. Like I say, the first person that asked when they're going to get to Reykjavik shouldn't be allowed on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No perks for Dust.
No.
Wouldn't they be going to Shanghai though? Technically.
Wouldn't say no to a trip to Shanghai. They were talking about it at FanFest last year because Keldon had just got on, but we were talking about that. And someone said, well, should someone from Dust be on the CSM? And we all go, no. It's two completely different games. Even then we were talking, a year ago, we were saying if Dust has anything to do with the CSM, it should have its own CSM.
Yeah.
Because it's hopefully going to be a pretty big game. So it's, you just feel like if you had someone on the CSM that was a Dust player, it would just feel like they would be getting scraps, and being politely dealt with. They really wouldn't have any leeway at all, in my opinion. So it's best to keep them separate. And when there is an overlap, like you say, have someone on either one or the other that has knowledge of the other game. And even if you didn't, you could have CCP do that job. Keep them separate. I mean, it would just be a recipe for disaster having a Dust player on the EVE CSM, and it would also, vice versa, it would be the other way as well. Yeah.
I just don't think rank and file EVE players, really care less about our little game yet. I mean,
no, they don't.
Sin what's, what would you say? Your average EVE player give a rat's ass about Dust 514? I
am the average EVE player, and I will say that I do care to an extent, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the cross-platform gaming. It's more, I think, I want to see how the gameplay interacts with each other. But honestly, I've learned more about the game in the last hour than I have since it was released. I got a beta key for going to FanFest last year, and I sold that thing for a Macarial. So I'm not a first-person shooter kind of girl. I've always played role-playing games, so I was a little skittish anyway. I don't understand your camera movements. Guys, you move the mouse up, and the camera goes down. And what the hell is up with that? But, sorry.
You can actually change that if you want.
You can't. Yeah. You can?
Yes, invert controls.
God damn it! But I mean,
it's on most first-person shooters. So like any game you ever want to play, just
the hell were you 15 years ago? Seriously, ooh, Final Fantasy. Their cameras are easy. But I want to see how the stories interact with each other. I want to see how the games interact and the players do. But as far as the everyday goings on the planets, I have no idea what's going on. I don't even know if it should matter as just an Eve grunt.
Yeah.
Funny enough, though, my corp is currently in Caldari faction warfare, so I think I can blow some of you up.
You can.
Which I might just try.
Yeah, I mean, my assumption is, I mean, you know, and off the top of my head, I don't know what the population distribution's like, but I would assume that any high sec people probably don't care less, probably don't even know. Any low sec factional warfare guys are, you know, a little intrigued, and think a lot of that would go to Kanan in his OB events. Got a little bit of interest there, and I assume that 0-0 don't give a rat's ass until it starts to impact them, and it's just a wait and see, like you said. And I know I've heard Cerebral say that's, you know, Goon's attitude is wait and see.
I think that's every Eve's attitude right now is wait and see, because we're still unsure of what's going to happen.
That's okay. We're unsure too.
Aww, I hope you guys get your own game. Fingers crossed for you.
So do we, after investing over a year of my life. But I mean, on the just going on about that, I mean, a year ago, I mean, I'm still an Eve player, basically because Denny's my account, Denny. It's easier to use an Eve account to run a corp. You couldn't possibly do it. Couldn't possibly do it on the PS3 UI. You'd go insane. But I keep that there. But I've basically not undocked for a year now because I've been doing this. And last year at FanFest, I had to go on the beta, and I was not at all impressed. And I had a sort of like drunken discussion stroke argument with CCP Flying Scotsman in a nightclub about it, about what was entirely wrong with it. But I left with enough of an inkling that it might be worth something to invest in, you know, just to try it out. And I got the beta key. I was going to buy a PS3 anyway, but so then I tried it, and then the beta came out, and it was much improved from the Reykjavik bit. Not much. Not terribly, it wasn't like better, but the control system was a lot better than what it was. And I thought, yeah, this could have some moments. And then found out that I was just spending most of my time playing on it completely. So I figured I might well chip in for Eve University's move to Dust. So I volunteered, and Kelvin just went, yeah, you're it. Don't volunteer, guys. But yeah, so I'm a sort of like an Eve player that's a convert. So, but I do sense that the rest of the Eve community's a little bit unsure about it yet, and I can perfectly understand that.
Okay, well, I mean, there's only like a couple of things I want to mention before we move on, and that's being able to change the inverse thing with the mouse. I think that's like one of the few things you can actually do in the options in Dust right now. I'd really like to be able to change which buttons do what on my keyboard.
I would like it on the keypad, on the joypad as well, on the DualShock 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the fire button is on the wrong shoulder button.
Tell me about it. I've been an Xbox Live user since the beta. And I'm like going, the trigger's in the wrong place. I swear to God, the first 2 months of Dust, I was just dying because I kept throwing grenades.
Most PS3 games are like that, though.
It's like, what?
I heard it was like a PS3 thing, that it's the other way around.
Yeah, the PS3 uses the R1 button for shooting, because we have horrible triggers anyway.
The only thing that I know that you can do PS3 to switch that, if you were an Xbox player, is the Mad Catz module controller. You can reverse the buttons in any game, and it's more of like it's more of an Xbox shape and size controller.
Yeah, I have one here.
There we go.
You can't actually switch the shoulder buttons though.
Yeah, you can. You got to hold down start and select for a couple seconds, and it reverses them. And then the way you know is that your light indicators, as far as whether it's controller 1, 2, 3, or 4, reverse. So that controller 1 is then lit up like it would be controller 4, so you know that it's been reversed. Yeah, it's called a Mad Catz. It's an MLG branded Pro Module controller.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually know that.
There you go.
Although I use a mouse and
I think
keyboard
I have
now,
that
but
control.
I have it too. I love it, except it screws up a hell of a lot in dust. So I'll kind of go a couple weeks and I can't use it, and then it seems like we get a hot fix, and I can use it, and then I can't use it, and it drives me freaking nuts. But yeah.
That's good to know. Like, that was driving me nuts.
Suddenly
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
through the roof.
You do have to do it every time. It doesn't save it, you know? Like, you load it up, hold it down, reverse it, and you're all good to go. You just got to remember all your menu buttons with your tabs across and crap.
Cool. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we move on is that poor CSM guy who ran for dust. Like, no longer has a podium to stand on. Oh well. Anyway. We're getting a patch on May 6th. And there's a whole bunch of things to talk about it. But I guess the first thing I want to talk about before we go into Planetary Conquest, because that'll be like half an hour talk or some shit like that. We're getting a bunch of new gear, and they were showing some of the stuff off. And I have no idea how any of it works, but we're getting new stuff. So, like, there was a video with the fighting on Caldari Prime, and one of the guys had a scrambler rifle, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sweet looking it was.
It's gonna be OP.
Insta OP.
Is it still up the 450% increase for headshot?
If it does, it will be very OP. I hope it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it can't be OP if everyone skills into it, though, because everyone's going to skill into it when it drops. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like, does anyone actually know anything about it other than, like, it's just a scrambler pistol but bigger?
Well, from the
barrel.
video they showed, they had a single shot version and a full auto version. If you watch the fire modes on the screen.
Yeah,
from the video they showed up as well, showed you the single shot one had a charge function. I don't know if that's in the full auto version as well, but interesting gun, I must say.
That certainly seems pretty cool. And there was another one which I didn't actually catch, which was like a plasma gun or something.
Yeah,
dumbfire on that, I believe.
Yeah, the plasma cannon, that's a light AV weapon. Just what I needed as a tanker, another thing to take me out.
I'm looking forward to trying that out on AV Scout.
Oh, great.
We'll scrim and work it out.
Oh, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, like, I mean, there was a new assault suit which was being shown off. But, like, I have no idea about
Has there been anything to confirm that was an assault suit? Because there was a lot of assumptions that was going to be, what the hell did they switch the name to it to? Crusader suit?
Crusader.
There's no backpack on that suit. Shiny white.
Yeah.
Calls out for, I'm the white guy with all the squad bonuses, shoot me first.
People have been saying it's the Galente assault suit. I don't know how true that is, but...
It'd be cool if we got
a
a bunch of them.
Galante feel to it. So,
Was it shaped like a penis?
I'm sorry, did someone say penis? I was zoning out for there.
And that brought her back.
time to dick.
We were talking about Galente.
Galente penises.
I like Galenti penises. They're a little green, but whatever.
I'm so confused right now.
Moving on. New gear. Yay!
New gear. Deployable force field. This is probably my favorite one that's coming in.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Are we sure that's coming next build, though? Because the dev blog said it would be in the build after.
Oh, is it a build
this.
After?
Yeah, he said the active scanner we're getting back in this May 6 build, and after we get the cloak and the shield bubble, I guess.
Yeah.
But you never know with CSP. You might sneak it in, maybe not. So.
I mean, we don't know if it works like the one in Halo 3 or if it's just something that increases the shield strength to anyone that's within its range. Personally, I'd go for the Halo 3 version.
Yeah, the first thing I did when I read that dev blog was look up the Halo 3 trailer where he like grabs it and throws it on the ground.
Yeah, the Halo 3 launch trailer.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But if it works like that, I think that'd be an interesting one. The recharge and the shields, I think. I don't know, there might be some problems with that, but in terms of just camping, spawn camping, just
we won't have to drop our own shield bubbles anymore. My guys can stop setting up near supply depots.
Yeah.
Be good for tanks as well, actually. Like if you got a bigger one, like throw one of those down, protects the tank. So I mean, like, it does seem like one of the things that will actually like change the game a bit. I feel because you'll actually be able to like deploy like cover effectively like anywhere.
Mm.
I mean, like, how much are you guys looking forward to like being able to do something like that?
I'll have to see how it works, though.
Yeah, looking forward to finding out what it does, and then seeing how that impacts on the rest of the game. But anything new is good. Anything that breaks it up and dare I say, the monotony, is to be welcomed. But let's find out what it actually does and the mechanics, and whether or not it actually has a detailed description.
Yeah, it'll be another tool in the box for people. It's just I'd like to see more equipment come in to kind of cut down on flavor of the month kind of stuff and diversify what people are running with and going with. I mean, I could see using something like that to get out of mass driver bombardments to cover a tight flank if a sniper's got a position before capping a point. All kinds of things.
It's going to make it more tactical.
Yeah. Another piece of deployable gear is good.
Yeah, and there's more as well. I mean, we'll start with the scanners, I guess, first. I mean, what are people's thoughts on those?
The scanner didn't work too well the last time it was in, so I hope it's actually working as intended. Yeah, it didn't work at all. I don't think the vehicles won't work as well because I use it and I don't notice a difference. But hopefully CCP managed to fix it and it actually does something now.
So what is it meant to do?
It's like a gun you hold and you like aim at a direction and it gives out signals, I guess. Like it has like a cooldown or some stuff.
Has a radar pulse that fires out of it, and anything that's moving that's enemy shows up briefly on. And I think it's your squad, not the team. I think it's anyone in your squad gets to see where they are for a brief amount of time. But it also, by firing it, also increases your signature. So
yeah, you pop up briefly, I guess, when you fire it off.
Yeah, but your profile skill gets that signature increase down.
Yeah. I would assume the scanner itself probably starts out at a base sig that it can pick up, and you level that up, and that's a balance back and forth between scanner skill and combined dropsuit command and profile skill.
It's going to be an interesting one. I think for a Logi, Logi with enough equipment slots, having that there as apart from the repair and the nanohives, I think that might be an interesting use. It might be, as long as the Logi gets a decent amount of war points for using it, I think it could be quite a popular item. But it's going to be it's one of these. It's another one of these. We'll have to wait and see what it does. Thing, but I think snipers aren't going to like it.
They probably won't like it, but they probably love the other equipment, that cloak and field, which I'm not sure if I'm too happy about that coming in, because cloaking in every other game I've played in has been terrible.
Really? Because I've played a bunch of games that have cloaking that work pretty well.
Well, cloaking to me only the game I played where cloaking worked decently enough was Killzone 2, because it had a counter to the cloak. Killzone 3 came out, and it had absolutely no counter to the cloak. So what you find were scout classes sitting in corners with assault rifles, just waiting for one person to run by them and then shoot them in the back, and that was very annoying. Crisis has cloak as well, and I see people using that, just running around the map, punching people in the face. So it depends on how CCP does the cloaking.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen so far, it's like it's not 100%. You're like a blur. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
It sounds like it functions very similar to between Crisis and Killzone 3. To be honest, I mean, motion blur when you move, probably a settle time when you hold still. I don't know if there's going to be a timer on it, if it depletes, or if it's a constant, or what. It'd be interesting to see.
I think it lasts for a certain amount of time, and then it stops. So you can only use it for like 15 or 20 seconds, and then like
Yeah,
no more cloak.
I think that's less likely to break something. You know, if there is a charge and a delay on it, like most any other active module. I hope it's not you know a constant cloak. Although one of my guys certainly is. His fingers crossed that it works like Crisis. Number 6 in the world in Crisis. He wants it to work like Crisis.
That's the thing Hawkeye is looking forward to as well. Cloaking is like every time he asks, is the new build bringing in cloaking? Like every time CCP announces a new build, that's all he mentions. And we usually just look at them with a scorn in our eyes, like, you already sit on a hill sniping, you want cloaking as well? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I fought him, I couldn't see him anyway.
True.
I enjoyed it in Killzone 3. I did a lot of sniping in Killzone 3, to be honest, and I didn't experience too much of the guys camping in corners with ARs cloaked. I enjoyed it more for a mid-range sniping kind of thing. We'll see how it works.
Killzone 3 was terrible.
See how it works.
Killzone 3 was terrible though. Have you ever done a clan battle on Killzone 3? Play a team deathmatch clan battle on Killzone 3. You would have the 2 teams of invisible people sitting in corners, just waiting for one person to make a move. Shoot them in the back, then move to the other corner of the room. Let the cloak recharge, and you cloak again. It's terrible.
So Call of Duty Extreme. Corner campers.
But I mean, the example I would give of like it working well, I mean, there's 2, and like one of them is kind of dumb because it's like StarCraft 2, and like I really like the cloaking mechanic in that because it's like there's a lot of countermeasures to it, and like you can see it when like stuff moves, and but I don't know like I don't know if that is quite the same as like Dust, although I do feel like as we get bigger and bigger battles, those 2 games will start playing sort of similarly. But that's just me. I'm an RTS guy before I came into this. And the other one would be TF2, where, what is it, the spy has a cloak? And I don't hear a lot of people like complaining about that. So they must have done something right there. But yeah, cloaking, scanners, new assault suit, deployable force fields. Is there anything else coming in May 6th?
We're also supposed to get the Flaylock pistol, the Memotar Flaylock pistol.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I like the idea of that. I'd like to see how it works, though. It was noticeable by its absence in that video, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if it doesn't turn up.
What was like its special thing that it did?
It was like a
just like
pistol that shoots micro rockets. Yeah, micro rockets.
Yeah.
I think it acts like the gun in Runaway with Tom Selleck. They fire it and it can chase people a little bit.
It made me think of when they first listed what it was. It made me think of the what was it called, Movado? Battle pistol in Killzone 3. Is that it? It's like a little mini grenade pistol.
Yeah, I know the pistol you're talking about. It sounds like that.
It sounds to me like it might be an anti-heavy weapon.
Bring it.
Like that.
I'm not scared.
Depends if it's got a lock-on facility onto heavies. That might it's dumbfire, you should be okay.
They have to stay alive to be able to shoot it. All right.
But but its absence in that video was noticeable to me, so I'm not holding my breath for May the 6th for it.
But I don't think you can really take the video as like this is everything they're gonna be putting in the game, because it was kind of it was a release kind of a leak of what's gonna be coming in, but you can't really limit what you're gonna get out of the update from that video, because at the end it's just a video. All it is a video. People like to break down trailers and leaked videos and the multiplayer gameplays that leak 2 months before the game's release. Everybody likes to break it down so much that whenever the game actually gets the update or the game does release, there's so much more stuff. So we know basically what's going to be coming into the game, and we just kind of have to go by what they're telling us more than by what they're showing us in the video, I think.
Well, the thing that leads me to say that was the dev video about the weapons, and they were particularly keen on the flaylock, and they liked it. They were saying it was their favourite weapon, and then to not show it,
Right.
I think maybe the mechanic on it isn't quite ready yet. They probably even CCP probably think it's overpowered.
More overpowered than the scrambler rifle?
I don't know about that. It depends. If the scrambler rifle has the 450 multiplier, then yes, it's seriously OP. But it just struck me slightly odd that they were so keen on the flaylock, and then there's been no footage of it at all.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm hopefully I'm wrong. If there's more stuff, the more stuff that appears in one build, then the greater the amount of change that happens, and people have to adapt. So I encourage it, but it just seemed odd to me that it wasn't in that video. Or there's been no footage of it, other than that one JPEG of what it looked like.
Do you think there's going to be another video coming out, maybe?
Well,
I think there's still a month. There's over a month left, so
You still
I
got
think
plans
there's still going to be another video. Maybe they just didn't finish it up as fast as they wanted to get the video out. So
that's true, but I guarantee there's going to be a video at FanFest. Absolute guarantee. The One Universe one that they showed at the FanFest, and the end of the keynote last. John Lander was on there, and he just said, "You want it twice?" Everyone went mental. So everyone was like, even that trailer, I think, even got some players like, "Ooh, hang on, this could be quite interesting." So, hopefully we'll get that to that level of the trailer. But I'm not holding my breath. And incidentally, what does anyone think of what the actual official launch date is going to be for this thing? Or do you actually think they're just going to go, it's out of beta now?
Well, I heard Soundwave say it was summer in some conference thing he went to, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name, Tretton, the guy that's in charge at Sony, he said October, I think. So.
Yeah, they don't have a date, I think, yet. And Uprising definitely isn't going to be retail release, though. I think that's the only thing we know right now. Although, what is, retail release anyway? Because I've been hearing lots of people complaining about Aurum not getting reset. And
oh, Lord.
That's a kettle of fish
stuff again.
That's just people making mountains out of molehills on that one, I'm afraid.
It's people trying to double dip and trying to get their Aurum.
Yeah, I agree.
They put it in the fine print, but I don't think they were planning on not resetting again. So, they had it in there. Then they're like, "Oh well, crap, we're not going to reset anymore. Let's take that out of the fine print because these people are going to be pissed off."
I think
if anyone expects, good wording out of CCP, I think they're asking for too much. The Merc pack and all those emails that we haven't gotten in a while, but we used to get those about once a month. For the longest time, the Merc pack and the little advert, it would say on sale now, And I put up with a couple months of those before I finally had to hit up Commander Wang and Speedframe and say, can you guys please change the frickin' wording on that to, available now, something like that, so you're not implying that it's marked down. They don't exactly have the best wordings for a lot of things. So, yeah, I think people making mountains out of molehills.
Although I do think on the PSN store, I was hearing this recently, I don't know if it's still the case, although it might be, that like it still says on the Merc Pack when you go to the PSN store, like it gets reset when like retail release comes.
I briefly looked at the PSN, and
I thought they changed it, didn't they?
Two versions of it for a brief time.
I don't get why people would complain about it though. It's like you're not being reset, but you want your Aurum reset, which you use to buy boosters to boost your skill points, which are not getting reset.
Exactly.
So why are you complaining?
That's the
if
issue.
you want your Aurum reset, then you get then it's only fair that your SP gets reset as well. And I can tell you straight up, a lot of people won't want to grind back over 7 million or 8 million SP again, come full release. What are you complaining about? It's not like CCP didn't tell us we weren't getting refunded. They told us before, like, be conservative with your Aurum. There's no more resets happening. I don't get big.
I think the people complaining though might have accidentally like dumped all their Aurum on like items you just lose when you die. So like the stuff you can use to get better gear earlier or whatever. I feel like there's some people who've put all their Aurum on that now and are now just going, oh crap, like I should have used that on like boosters or useful things.
Yeah.
I just to be honest, I don't think that's the case, because one of the chief people behind the arguments of that is Noctemper from Imperfects, and he's not stupid. He's not going to spend his Aurum on a bunch of consumable gear like that. But he's one of the chief people that wants his Aurum refunded because of the wording CCP used. And it's like, dude, you know it wasn't getting refunded, so why are you pushing this?
I guess people just like to whine.
Yep. It's an internet-based community. They're going to complain about everything. I mean, I am a Reddit abuser. I'm on Reddit nonstop, and all people do on the internet is complain. That's it. It's just like the biggest, public area that's not really public because people don't see who you are, really, for you to be able to just go out and complain about everything.
And post cat pictures.
And yeah, exactly. And how often do you really see people, giving CCP props or saying, this game's awesome or whatever? It's always somebody complaining. People are going to take time out of their day, slurred speech. People are going to take time out of their day to complain, but they're not going to take time out of their day to be thankful.
Exactly.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. That's the way it is.
I just bought my first Merc Pack, and I only used it on boosters, and I don't expect anything to come back to me. I don't really care. I got my $20 worth of stuff, and I'm happy with it. I don't care what the fine print says. I paid $20 for, what was it, 40,000 Aurum, some equipment that I can't use because I'm a heavy, and some other stuff. Like, that was a 30-day active booster. So, I mean, I spent the $20 for that, to support CCP. I didn't spend $20 thinking, oh, I'm going to get $40 out of this.
No.
So.
And if you've got that attitude, you really should be playing this game.
Yes.
You should go play Hearthstone instead.
Yeah.
Go play with the train. Sorry, I hate people that complain.
£99 on that mercenary pack, and I spent it. If you want to give me the Aurum, fine, but I'm not going to turn it down. But I'm not expecting it back.
Exactly.
Surely, I've slapped down my money for it. I got what I wanted. It's and you're haggling over fine print. It just seems ludicrous to me. But like you say, people just like to play.
They're the same people that go AFK in the MCC.
I don't blame people for going to AFK in the MCC though. Like, the game has become very stale and boring because we've been playing the same build since like October. So these people want to keep up with the SP, but they don't want to deal with the grinding of redline. Because when we play, it's usually redline the red dots in like the first 5 minutes of the game. Very rarely you'd get a very organized team on the other side, and one squad of us could usually dictate the pace of a game, and that's why most people also play ambush, because it's quicker, they can get the ISK faster, SP faster, and be done with it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's totally broken skirmish for me. Like I don't touch skirmish, and I said earlier I don't touch ambush. So if you want to play with me, we're playing OMS. So I mean, it's just.
OMS was a breath of fresh air to ambush. It really needed
it.
It was skirmish. Everyone was playing skirmish. Everyone was ignoring ambush. As soon as OMS turns up, you know,
because it's kind of it's a mix between objective-ish. I'm not going to say objective play, but you want to control the supply depots especially, and at least at least defend the turrets, even if you're not going to cap them, which is kind of stupid. But at least defend the turret so y'all aren't getting blown up and your vehicles can move around freely. So I mean, I think a major reason I like OMS is because of that. You get the 50 points for hacking, and you can defend against your tanks and other vehicles.
I think Sindell has to head off. So thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure having you on.
No, thank you for educating me. It's fun learning about stuff that impacts me in some way that I have no clue about, and you do it without making me feel stupid, which means you should probably never play Eve. But thank you very much for having me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Sindell.
Thanks, Sindell.
Write me a song.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Would you like me to mention you by name?
Yes. DS the Drunk Heavy. That's me.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, my overlay for this is going to break any second now, but I can't be bothered fixing it, so I don't really care. And we haven't got that much to talk about. There's only a few things. Shit, where were we? Skirmish being broken.
Skirmish being broken, OMS being the saviour.
Yeah. I mean, like, the other thing about, like, AFK'ing is you get free money for it, and everybody's saving up for,
PC.
Yes.
It's basically boosting.
Pro.
It's really, to me, it's just boosting. And there's no way to combat it, and there's no penalties for it, and that's where it comes into, like, the, your ethics kind of thing. It's just a big lack of ethics, and
yeah.
But really, it's a video game community, so people's ethics are shit anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
You want to know what's broken about AFKing? You actually get better salvage from being AFK than actually playing the game.
Really?
It's kind of sad. Yeah, you do.
It's
Really?
stupid.
Yeah, a couple of my guys get better salvage when they AFK than when they actually play. And they get it regularly too.
That's really weird.
I wish
I
they
wonder
would
if seen so many Prin assault rifles then.
Is that where all the fails are?
I mean, I remember when I got my first 10 Crin assault rifles, and I was like going, yeah, and then I've not had any since. So which kind of annoys me. But,
I probably have a few that I would give to you if I could.
oh, that's what's coming in the build, isn't it? The ability to trade.
Do we actually get trading?
I think it did say that, didn't it?
Yeah.
I hope
there's going to be a limited marketplace. Not
yes.
related to Eve, but within Dust. So I think that's coming.
I heard you're going to be able to move some money from Eve over to Dust as well.
Heavily taxed, I would hope.
Yeah, like super heavy.
I said long ago what I'd like to see them do for that, if you're going to get onto Eve transfers, is a floating exchange rate so they can control it.
That would be the easiest way.
Yeah. To me, it's the easiest way to do it.
Moving money from Eve into Dust will just break the game, because Planetary Conquest coming out, if you can move money from Eve into dust, what's the point of controlling districts? It just makes no sense holding districts if you could just pump your money from Eve into dust.
I think.
Oh no, it's not the time to do it by any means.
Wasn't there meant to be? I've heard people mention that like you'll be able to, if you hold a district, then the Eve side gets a benefit from it or something.
Unannounced bonuses.
Unannounced bonuses.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm aware, the mechanic, it's the mercenary is the one that has the effect on Eve.
Yeah.
Corp side, the PC side, it's purely dust.
You have, I'm just double checking it right now. It depends on your surface infrastructure. So whether you have a hub, a lab, or a production, there's a Eve side bonus that is classified. So we don't know.
Oh yeah, that's it. The actual link hasn't been. They've said there's going to be a link, but they've said the actual gameplay. They're not prepared to tell us yet. Yeah, now you've said that. Yeah, but that's only if you've got the extra infrastructures. It's not the actual initial.
Yeah, that's the way it says it right now, anyways. And then they're basically calling for people to discuss ideas on it as well. So I don't know that it's anything set in stone.
Well, none of it is. None of it is, by the sounds of it. I mean, it'll be one of the things that's going to get brought up at the round tables at FanFest, and which is why I think they're going to release it after FanFest, because I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be said to them that they're going to quickly try and code in before the release. So everyone was sort of like expecting a build before FanFest or just after FanFest. And I thought, no, it's going to be after FanFest, because they're going to have so much feedback over those 3 days at Harper and then 3 nights in the pub that they're just going to try and cram as much of it in as they can. So it's still up in the air. There's going to be a lot of changes still, I think, to it. It's certainly not set in stone. And plus, they've got a link that they've alluded to with Eve. Because I think it's now is the time they're going to have to start showing the Eve players that there's going to be a definite benefit to dust for them. Other than having people disappear on your list when you OB them, which is nice, I suppose, but there's no real benefit to an Eve player at the moment with dust. And they're going to have to start showing one. And soon. TM.
Well, maybe we'll get like a PI bonus or something. If like someone from the same corp holds the district on the dust side. Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be probably the easiest way to do it,
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see, and there is probably a thread on the forums where you can go suggest like ideas for that.
I'm just waiting to get the devs drunk.
Yeah, that's a thing I've been noticing with people coming on the show. I think almost everybody who's come on is going to FanFest.
I have budgeted. It's just the extra beer I'm going to have to buy.
Anyway, moving on. That was equipment and some of the mechanics. There's more mechanic stuff I want to get to. We're going pretty... No, I want this show to be 1.5 hours, but there's too much stuff to talk about. Oh, we'll have to do... Oh, we missed a week, so whatever. Anyway, new graphics stuff has been released.
Trees, grass, green stuff.
As long as they actually give you cover.
Exactly.
if you're stuck behind a tree and the bullet's just hitting you, it's not really worth having it there.
Get behind the shrubbery.
What's that map? I don't know what the map's called, with the rocks, and everybody uses lasers the whole time. And on OMS, you have a building, and then like this wide open space, and then all the rocks where everybody camps with their lasers. Like that one, I think that needs the most cover out of any of the maps, because your initial spawn points are normally like up by the building and down low by the rocks. So the people down low, they're automatically at a disadvantage because the other people have the higher ground. Plus, there's no cover for them to come up and try to flank or anything. So I mean, I'm hoping for more cover, period, in the game, because I mean, I'm a heavy, I'm slow as hell. So I need to be able to move and be able to, stop behind cover if I'm getting shot at. And in that map especially, it's just that's one of my maps. I just normally go forge gun and try to get some lucky, funny kills.
Yeah, well, like I say, on that map, I'm an assault rifle and I'm just picking off heavies.
And that's my issue.
It's the one map that the heavies have a real disadvantage on, and it's not because of the actual players, it's because the game sucks.
It's just so empty. That's the issue. It's just an empty area with different levels for people to, be sitting on with lasers and ARs. And sometimes the occasional sniper, but ARs and lasers rule that map.
I mean, the new graphics are nice and everything, but people do get lost in the new shiny. Great if the shiny looks great, but if it actually provides something new, like vegetation that you can hide behind, or anything that's going to, for instance, if they had a shrub that had a high metal content, so if you hid behind it, your signature disappears, something like that. That would be cool.
Or you could set on fire with a laser.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Burning bush.
Plus 10 war points.
That's right. Only shoot the red leaves.
And ponies. I think if we had put ponies in, we'd get more interest from the Eve players. So.
Actually, that was like something I really liked about the Caldari Prime event, was that there was debris everywhere, and it was like, there's cover.
Yeah, except it was so glitchy. You would go up on it, and then you would end up on the other side of it, or bullets would be coming through it. It was bad. I tried to use them for cover, and it was just like bouncing on a trampoline. It was not fun.
Add heat damage for the things that were on fire.
Right.
Then MTACs could just pick people up and toss them into burning piles of debris.
There's a couple more graphics things that there's like a day-night cycle thing coming, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if anyone heard about this.
Very cool the way they described it, because it's going to function, if it functions like that from the start, but it's going to function based on the position of the planet and the planet's rotation in that system, whether it's day-night schedule. So it's not going to be just, I got a night map, I got a day map. That it's actually going to tie into Eve is very cool.
Yeah, and I also heard they're going to further iterate on that by having seasons. That was mentioned at FanFest, I think, in one of the roundtables. That they're talking about having seasons on the planet as well at some point in the future, which would be really cool. But I think that's probably at least 18 months off, But,
just imagine a snow map for like.
Oh yeah, there'll be a snowman.
Seasons on a nice planet.
But just like a heavy slowly trudging through the snow.
Sliding down the hill because his footing isn't good.
Well, because I think we were talking about it. Someone said that, and about there being seasons, and then, does that mean we're going to get white drop suits? Are we going to get camouflage? So it'd be interesting. But like I said, it's going to be a while off that one.
I've heard
the night days does seem rather cool.
I've heard some cool suggestions about like making that a mechanic as well, like darkness. So like making it really dark if it's night. And having like that function as something.
The dropship spotlights would actually come into use more than just what you pop up on the minimap.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's one of those wait and see kind of things, but it is a cool thing. Like certainly, and I do like that it's actually going to be like realistic, so that if you're on that side of the planet, then it's night, and the other side is day.
Yeah.
One last thing, the Unreal 4 engine got showed off at, I think it was GDC, and they showed off this fancy trailer, and it looked...
I watched...
Oh, sorry.
No, I watched that. Yeah, go ahead.
It looked a lot like Dust.
It did.
And...
I got a vibe, certainly.
Yeah, like it. You know when you go on the PS3 menu thing and you select dust and it brings up that background image. Like when you go to hit play and like turn dust on, it looked a lot like that image, or maybe I think there was like an older image as well, like earlier in the beta.
But like we said earlier, we shouldn't be reading too much into videos.
No.
I think we might just be dreaming. Yeah.
But no, even the armor, and when that one guard drops his face mask down. I mean, I'm sure it's just a coincidence and just some stylistic overlap. But yeah, it really did. Although I will say that that little ninja scout with his little arm kind of cloaky shield thing, he did have the Eve long dreadlocks tied back in a pony.
Yeah, it did look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the weapons looked a lot like dust weapons as well. I noticed, like the assault guys with like what looked like Gex.
Yeah, we don't want to be analysing it and getting our hopes up,
But like, if that's what dust is like in 10 years, then I'm going to be a very happy man.
I would be kind of upset if it took 10 years for it to look like
Yeah, I was that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not 10 years.
Well, just because it looks like that in 10 years doesn't mean it can't be sooner. Okay, graphics is done. Alright, I'm just going to make this the last talking point. There's other stuff, but whatever. Planetary Conquest is going to be coming in, and they've been talking about changing the mechanics, and there's all that stuff, and like, what are your guys' thoughts on like the mechanics as they are right now? Like the whole, you get one Genolution pack, and then you start off on one planet. And I know Danny has tons of stuff to talk about from the Dust Uni being neutral thing, but
yeah, well, we thought about it. I mean, we want to remain neutral. We want to be seen to be remain neutral. So we were sort of like having an internal discussion about does it actually mean us having districts? Does it actually mean that we are no longer neutral? And does it actually affect anything in Eve? And my own personal opinion is if people are like saying it's Dust's version of SOV in Eve, and I really don't think it is, unless it's in a corporation, unless you're holding it in tandem with an alliance that also holds SOV, because I think the two are going to be inextricably linked eventually anyway. And like we were saying before, the factional warfare part of it is going to be dealt with the mercenary contracts. There is going to be a link. They said there's going to be a link with planetary contracts and Eve, but we don't really know what it is. And it only happens if you get the extra infrastructure. So, does just holding a district mean that you are holding stuff? So we had this whole scenario in our head. We didn't know what was going on because we would like to remain neutral, or certainly be seen as not being wanting someone to come and just wipe out someone's planet. Not that we would anyway. So I mean, we were talking about it, and I just thought, well, screw it. I'll put a message on the forums. Just like, what do you guys think? Because my personal feeling for Dust University is that we want to be thought of the same way as Eve University, as just sort of like there to help people. We don't want to be seen as a dominating force or anything like that. We're just in it to help people. So I just thought, screw it, just throw it out there. I've had some good suggestions actually. The current favourite is, I don't think the community would mind us having a few districts or even a planet, as long as we stayed there.
That's exactly what I'd suggest. As long as you're not going out attacking other districts, but if you just kind of say and pick something reasonable. I know you got a lot of guys, but this is the Dust Uni planet. We defend this planet. If we lose a district, we'll attempt to take it back. But you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I can say right now categorically. While I am CEO, we will never take a district in nullsec when it happens. That's just going to be pissing in too many people's pools. So
why not take a bit of a red versus blue kind of attitude in Dust Uni? split yourselves, and if you're not getting activity with people attacking your planet, then at least you can do activity amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
and
well,
it keeps you out of the politics.
Well, that's
you just say
that's
this.
the sort of thing we're thinking.
Yeah,
that's we have a district. Have a district, maybe set up a dummy corporation and fight backwards, or even invite some other training corps to be on the same planet, and we could just have scheduled a sovereign district each, and then just fight on that planet. Because the thing about PC is that it's got friendly fire, and it's the only game mode that's going to have it. And I was making this point to CCP Fox 4 Twitter. If we're in the process of training people, if that's what our job is, and then we say to someone, okay, this person's graduated, and they go to another corps, and then that corps says, have you had any experience of friendly fire? No. Well, then you're not trained. It's like saying you can ride a bike but still need stabilizers. So that's the main thing. If there was a game mode that had friendly fire on, we could probably get away with not being involved in PC. But because of the friendly fire, we need to be involved in PC to a certain degree in order so our trainees, the people that we're going to take on, the reason why we're here, get some experience of that. And the only way to do it is actually do it. And so we are internally debating it at the moment. We've got a managers meeting scheduled for tomorrow. It's going to be it's the first thing on the topic. So we're probably going to make an announcement reasonably soon. But like I said, I don't really want to hedge any bets. But my personal feeling for it is a planet. A planet or somewhere where we can just practice ourselves. And plus the whole mechanic with just having one package evolution and then spreading slowly with when the other temperate, it's only going to be 250 districts, but when the other 7,000 temperate planets come online with, how many districts they've got each, then, it'd be relatively easy for us to find somewhere nice and quiet. So, it'd be a while before, unless someone deliberately jumped a load of clones on us to attack us. I think we can safely coexist, use a bit of PC, and still be seen as neutral as long as we, don't act dickish about it, which I've really no plan for. So, but that's. I mean, what do you guys think on that idea? That sort of thing that you think the community would get behind?
Well, I mean, I think Subdreddit would be okay with you guys having your own little corner, and we wouldn't go and attack you over it. I think Pro feels the same as well. And saw them posting, and they were saying, "Oh, we're not going to go after you because that would just."
Yeah, no, we will be perfectly happy having linking recruitment adverts from our forums to any corp. So I mean, the best way in Neutrality and Dust is to shoot everyone.
Yeah.
So we would make no distinction about who to send, advertise for. So, it doesn't, even if that corp was in an alliance that was negative to Ivy League, even, I would personally be happy to put a link in our recruitment. We make a forum, make a recruitment thread. Check out these guys. If you've done with Dust University, do you think you can move on, do something else? Check these guys out. I'd have no problem with that. Just act like a feeder corp for everyone. Show no favours.
I mean, what are your thoughts, Cookie and Movado?
I don't have any problem with it as well. It's if they want their own little corner to do their stuff, that's fine by me. It's not bothering me. It's not bothering them.
No, I'd stay hands off unless they asked, "Hey, we're not getting enough activity. Do you guys mind coming and attacking?" Why not? I mean, I like what you guys do. Helping players.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's the mechanic of the game as it stands at the moment doesn't allow us to do very much in the way of detailed training, although we do have a training program that's currently being worked on. And then once the actual tools come into the UI for allow us to do stuff, then we can start rolling it out. But as I started, before we started Dust University, became live with the open beta, I created a dummy corporation that was proto Dust University, and a lot of the same guys went from there to Dust University when it opened, and we've always had this. It's just been like an open club. It's just been somewhere where people who don't really want to get into the full meta game of it, just want to play it as an FPS, can come and congregate and meet people of a like mind, and just squad up. But now we're getting towards the point where we're going to have to start having the organised training programs and stuff. And we recently had our first lecture last week. Gridders was our guest speaker, for EVE players and Dust players, and that was actually Ivy League's first cross-platform lecture. We had PS3 players on the lecture .euni typing in questions, and then we were posting them in EVE. So it was a good learning experience. So we are rapidly progressing into a more structured training program. We have players that are better at a particular aspect, snipers, tanks, that sort of thing. They're taking people under their wing. So hopefully it's going to progress a lot more. But we just didn't want to get bogged down with the whole PC thing. My worst case scenario was that we just dive in, not tell anyone, and then 6 months down the line, when if we were to have like 2 systems or something like that, and then someone goes, "Aren't you guys supposed to be neutral?" That would just be a nightmare scenario. So we wanted to be upfront straight away with the community, and we've been humbled, to be honest. It's been a bit of a morale booster to have so many people in the forum, and it turned into a 10-page thread note pretty quickly. And just to have that kind of level of feeling towards us, it's been good. So we've enjoyed it, but hopefully we're going to make an announcement within the next couple of days, and then we'll have to see what happens on May the 6th, because there's only 250 districts up for grabs anyway. So we might not even be able to get into it if we decide to do it. We might not be able to get into it straight away, but we'll be announcing it shortly.
You're in my call-in sick day club, though, right? You'll just have to rush out and claim at least one.
Well, I've actually booked the day.
Yep.
The one thing I have decided, if we do PC, it's going to be me that presses the button, because I really don't want it falling on my... If there is any ramifications, if people start kicking off about us no longer being neutral, it'll be me that does it. Yeah. I've already made that clear to the rest of the directors that we've got in the unit. It'll be me. If it's going to fall on anyone's shoulder, it's going to be me. I don't want it on anyone else's. So hopefully, we'll see how it goes.
Well, if you go with the single planet kind of route, and a little bit of a red versus blue situation amongst yourselves, and just don't expand beyond that. I would hope that anybody that's for the community would respect that. I know I certainly would. I think what you guys do here and what you guys do in EVE is important to the community. It's too bad Sindell had to take off, because kind of supporting new players, that was part of how I talked her into getting here. But I'll maybe mention that before we head out.
Yeah,
well,
I agree with what you said as well. Because what you guys do for the community, I mean, you help new players, you train new players. And me personally, I like competition, so the better you get players means the better fights I get. So it helps me as well. So win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah. Plus, I think the kind of community that we've managed to build up. I mean, we've got, as of this morning, I think we've got close to 750 members. And when I last checked, about 75% of them are active within the last 4 weeks. And of that 75%, I would probably say 50% of that was certainly within the last 10 days. So we've got a fairly active player base. We've had people move on, and we've waved them goodbye, wished them good luck. But a lot of people just seem to stay because of the camaraderie and the fact that it's easy to squad up, because we usually have 30. I think the current record is 42, when we've had 42 mercs on at any one time. So it's just so much easier to squad up when you've got that kind of people playing. And just being able to get in a decent squad, like you say, with the game getting a bit stale now. Any squad of 4 can go into any match and basically dominate. You know, so it also helps with morale as well. Plus, obviously, when we get the tax ability, sorry to any D-Uni guys watching, you are going to get taxed at some point. Only a small amount. It's going to be helpful to training to get stuff in, because eventually we hope to be able to do what E-Uni does and have corp hangers where we can give free fits to people and stuff like that. But that's all up to CCP. But yeah, it's been very gratifying to hear from the community that they think of us that way.
Well, you have your own little campus. I believe
Well, yeah,
that's the way it
what
was described.
I think a concern I have for PC is just with what they've released so far, I don't see an incentive beyond saying that you have them to hold districts.
Yeah, well, at the moment,
As far as ISK, you know, I mean, if you're gonna make 4 mil, you know, every reinforcement timer, if your clones are already maxed and you don't have an attack and they're sold off, auto sold off, you can make more by just going and attacking somebody, not even taking the district, and simply killing more than 40 clones.
Mm.
Just when was the last skirmish match you saw less than 40 clones killed? So that's a concern of mine.
My biggest fear for Planetary Conquest comes in the situation that you see happening in NullSec and Eve. I personally don't want to see that in Dust, like people just bluing up everyone and no fights going on. Because to me, in a first-person shooter, if you're not actually shooting someone, then what's the point in playing the game? So I hope that you don't see any coalitions, like Dust coalitions being formed, because you already have some alliances already formed. I just hope you don't see coalitions being formed and 3/4 of the map is just blue and then no fights go on.
Yeah.
That would not be good. The game would just stagnate very quickly in that regard.
Yeah, I think.
Well, there's nothing else for us to do. You know, at least Eve side, if you're blued up as far as Sov, you know, there's other things you can go and do.
Exactly. This is the point I was making with Fox 4. You know, he was questioning. He said, "Well, what is it the corp battles in PC offer you that the mercenary ones don't offer?" And I just simply said, "Friendly fire." You know, it's something new. So at the moment, it's not really going to offer as much other than EPing. So
yeah.
You know, and for a lot of cops, EPing is everything. You know, let's not beat around the bush on that one. But you know, it's really not what we're into. You know, so we want to do something that's good for the community and to help out.
I mean, I guess my last question, or one of my last questions, would be like, I heard Mavada, you said you were going to do faction warfare when this patch hits.
Yeah, both faction warfare and PC we're looking to do when we're not fighting in PC faction warfare, because from what I gather of faction warfare, it's going to be uncapped groups, so we can all full one side with a full team. So that way I can not play with terrible blue dots and not have terrible enemies to shoot at, but actual good people. So games won't be as dull and boring as they are now.
And Cookie, I think you're probably, well, I imagine you're going to be in PC.
Yeah, we're doing PC. We're in Young. We've in the process of switching some standings, which some guys are loving. But I mean, it depends on what shakes down in PC. To be honest, you know, if there's enough, and it depends on the benefits of each. What you're getting out of either holding districts or attacking districts versus what you're getting out of partaking in factional warfare fights. For me, you know, if there's enough activity in PC and you know the income stream's high enough, why would you bother with factional warfare? In the reverse, if you get more out of factional warfare, other than the friendly fire, But Movado brings up the being able to sync as many guys as you'd be doing in defending your district, and it's back and forth for me. It's yet again another wait and see. Not enough info out yet, especially with no info on each side bonuses. So.
Okay, well, I think that's almost everything I had to ask, really. Is there any last thoughts on Planetary Conquest anyone has?
Where's the space going to be, and is it only going to be 6 jumps big?
They haven't
That's what I'm
announced
dying to know.
I thought they announced the region, or is that just we might put it in this region?
No, not that I've seen anywhere.
And to be honest, I would like that information as soon as possible, so that I can recommend a decent
I really want. I mean, Movado and I've talked this, and it would certainly help Dust Uni for depending on the way you decide to go in PC. I want to see the star map, and the planet position with how big the district planets are with 5 to 24 districts per planet. I'd like to see that. I want to see that. I think we need to see that before it drops on the 6th and everybody goes running out. I mean, it's the assumption that it's going to be a gold rush, run out and plant your flag too, which I'm personally not really big on. I think they could have hyped this build a lot more by doing something like a month-long, round robin lottery type event to get the right to go out and grab a district first shot. But I think it's a little late for that.
Yeah, like I say, I want to know where it is, just so I can find the spot that's least likely to annoy people.
Well, what is it? What have they actually said? It's not going to be in factional warfare space. Have they actually said it's going to be in low-sec space? I know some people were tossing around the idea of it being in Jove space.
It's
No, it's in low-sec. They mentioned
low-sec. It will be in low-sec?
It's in low-sec. It's no null involved in it. And certainly no wormhole space, because we've had a few people. That's one of my requests actually that I've got from a few people in my folder for FanFest. Is it going to be in wormhole space? Yeah, I just want to find somewhere it's not going to have an effect, but as such, I just want to find somewhere that's sort of like on the periphery. So right there, day one, people know actually that they are being serious. They really just don't want to have their own little thing going on. I don't want it slap bang in the middle. So it's all about perception as well, rather than.
Well, you guys want to be able to pretty much keep to yourselves, right?
Yeah, we want to be able to keep to ourselves, but we also want the ability. We want when it fully launches, we want somewhere to keep to ourselves, but we want the ability where someone can travel to us and attack a district. Without losing too much of the clowns, and so it's a fair fight. Arrange that kind of battle, and because the friendly fire aspect is going to be very, very important. There's people. There are corps that use mass drivers like confetti, and they're going to be at a huge disadvantage when friendly fire comes on because they won't have anything else to fall back on. So. I mean, yeah, it's the friendly fire that's really attracting us at the moment. That's why we want to be a part of it if we can.
Yep. I'm really scared of friendly fire because I always shoot people in the back on accident. Playing drunk with friendly fire is going to lead to some negative scores.
Well, the thing is, they're talking about what's the word? Penalties for friendly fire. What do we do? And I'm just saying, well, just minus off the war points. You get 50 for a kill, you should get 100 knocked off for a friendly fire. So people who cost you war points and therefore cost you OBs are not going to be thought of very well in the cup, and they're not going to last very long. That would be my preferred way of doing it.
I think that's oh yeah, Cookie will be wrapping up after this, but I think that was actually how it works back when you could actually do Dust 3-2-1 with the grenades. If you killed one of your teammates with it, you get minus 50 war points.
Yeah.
So I think they're just going to leave it like that.
Right. But yeah, it's friendly fire is going to be sort out the men from the boys, I think.
Okay, well, I think that's us. I mean, well, I guess, like, last question was, like, are heavies useless at the moment? And I think no.
No.
No, they're not.
I
We're
hear
very
that all the
useless.
time.
They are
Can
not.
Can I share my point on that? The heavy proto suit is ridiculously
It's useless.
overpriced.
Yeah.
It's useless and ridiculously overpriced.
Yep.
And heavies aren't useless in my opinion. They just need tweaking. For an armor-based suit that has the lowest amount of module slots is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Like the prototype suit has like what, two high slots. I mean 2 low slots. Like really.
Exactly.
The heavy suit just needs to be tweaked a bit. It's not underpowered, but it's not useless. It just needs to be tweaked.
I like it.
But the proto one is
Oh,
heavy.
that's
Quarter mil for VK. Quarter mil for VK1. That's stupid.
That's bad.
That's just ridiculous. Tanks are cheaper.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, a tank is actually cheaper. That's pretty stupid. Wow.
I think you can buy a frigate in EVE for less than that, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, I think a base frigate you can pick up in G.
I think you could fit out a frigate for less than that, though.
10,000. You shop around. So, and the whole point of ISK, of course, is that according to the game law, that one ISK is enough for someone living on a planet to be able to live off for the rest of their life. Just seems to the whole pricing structure for the heavies is just ridiculous. They're tough to kill, but not that tough.
They're not that tough to kill once you have a decent suit. Like a decent prototype or soul suit will kill under heavy really quickly if the guy can aim well. The heavy weapons are also ridiculously priced as well. Like a prototype HMG is almost 200k as well. So when you look at a fully fitted heavy suit, prototype heavy suit, you're coming up to $500,000 for one death, and it doesn't offer you much from an advanced suit. So
Nope. I just run I run Type 2 and regular heavy machine gun with complex damage mods and armor plates. That's all I run. There's I think my total suit cost is 46,000. And I mean that's really not bad at all for how well I've been doing. Kind of found my groove, so I don't know. I use the MH82 here and there, and I hate going against people that use the broadside because that gun just pisses me off. But like, I don't have much of a problem with proto guys, proto assault or proto scouts or anything. So I mean, I think it's decently balanced. I agree with you about the proto heavy suit. It's got to be either bumped up a little bit, buff it a little, or drop the price. Especially I think the MH82 itself is overpriced because I think it's 38,000 ISK as opposed to the regular HMG, which is only 8,000 ISK. So I mean, there's not as much of a difference between the two to really compensate for that 30,000 per weapon difference.
the MH82 is advanced, right? And that's like,
I believe so.
and that's 38,000, and then the prototype one is 174k.
Right.
And you don't get much of a bump as well.
No, there's not much of a difference. That's why I stick with the regular HMG, because for 8,000 ISK, people with Duvals are spending more on their just Duval than I am in my entire suit. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's one of the things I would like to see in the next build, ISK efficiency on the leaderboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be,
Yeah. Get rid of the kill-death ratio. It's superfluous. It's just for people who think it's important, and those.
I like my kill-death ratio. It's fun to track.
Well, but it
I like
mean-
I like tracking it. I got it up
Well,
to
the
3, and I'm stoked.
The skirmish stats are broken,
Yeah.
so it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at the moment.
But yeah, your ISK efficiency is going to be everything. I think if you can pull off the kind of results you can pull it off, and you can pull it off cheaply, that's going to get you. That's much more important than kill death, in my opinion.
If I say fiscal responsibility to my guys once more, they're probably going to try and oust me.
You giant guys, you like to run proto stuff.
Yeah, no.
Not as much as Grupo.
We have next to none with proto.
Kidding.
I mean, like I say, I mean, most
Just trying to
players
take a jab at you.
Most players have only
I
got
got it.
maybe 4.5 billion SP anyway.
I got no heavy with a proto. So there.
Well, if you need a heavy, don't call me.
What you doing? You're locked in with the Forum Warriors.
Ooh. Hey, we
I
got
don't care.
core battles because of that, though.
Forget beef. That's so stupid.
Oh, it was silly. It was supposed to be good fun. That was just carried way too far. That's why I held back on so much that I could have said in that. I just didn't want it to escalate any further.
I'd still like to have a fight against you guys, though.
I just wanted to
I
do
would
a-
too. I mean, I you know what? In all honesty, here I trapped you guys into letting me pick the. Here you go. Completely true. Trapped you guys into letting me pick the ISK amount. You know, I feint that I had my mic was dead because I was away that whole days when that thread was all blowing up. I was on vacation. So actually, you know, I'm a night owl. You guys provided me with a lot of entertainment while I was sitting up and my girls were long in bed. But yeah, it was just posturing back of dropping down that 100 mil. All I wanted was a rematch, you know. And like I said, in the OP, you know, I just stated the facts of the situation and just kind of said, hey, I'd like to have two rematches against both you guys, and that was it. And I gotta give Quick a shout out though. He was damn tame in that thread. And in the was it episode 3 was just the last one? You know, he had a couple jabs back and forth, but it was all in good fun, and he had a couple compliments too. And my guys were disappointed. We did that rematch with them, and I'm not taking anything away from STB. You know, they played well. They came at us with Proto and Officer, which my guys don't really have, and we did not play well, and they thumped us pretty good. But so we're all tied up. I'd like to do a rubber match against them sometime, and I'd like to play you guys. And it doesn't have to be for 100 mil. It just things got carried away. And that's all it was.
E-Pains.
So I just let it die. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get something set up at some point. I'm sure Dant will see this, or because I make him.
Y'all should. I think y'all
just
should
make sure
set
you
it
count
up.
your zeros.
That's right. Exactly. Finger on the screen, Joe. One at a time.
I think if y'all are gonna set something up,
6 zeros in a million.
just I think y'all should do it behind the scenes. You know, you get a hold of Dan
Without the drama?
away from the forums, because the drama is just I think it's just, it's so stupid. Oh, it irks me.
It was.
It's the internet.
He'd I said in that shitstorm of a thread, you know, I think Dent's a good guy. We haven't really talked much or anything like that, but as soon as a couple of those posts went after my OP, he was like, let's have a chat so things don't get carried away, and things kind of spiraled out of control before that ever happened.
I apologize for my courtmates.
This is why I
was
expect not a forum warrior.
It was all in good fun. I mean, I hope a couple of the Subdreddit guys that posted in that weren't taking it quite as seriously as the post came across as. But you know, like I said, that's why I just kind of tried to steer clear and bite my tongue. And I just wanted to have a match, was all.
Yeah. The funny thing about that, you started that thread because of something I said, right?
Oh yeah, it was just the it was you know, Quick was like, oh well, what did they do after that? You know, they went straight out and all that you said, and I wasn't saying anything bad about you, but all that you said is like just a passing, yeah, we beat them.
Yeah, I mean, like
there was and you know what, like me personally, this is just the kind of guy I am. Somebody comes at me, I don't care. I take the stick out of myself all the time, and my guys know. You know, if you can't have a sense of humor about yourself, then you know, you got a serious problem. But I stand up for my guys, and you know, Quick was tossing off what was for us a really good victory, because we have a bad habit. We played enough matches where it showed. It happened in yours, although it was more technical issues.
of starting matches out like crap. And we've had way too many where we come from behind. And that's what that STB match was. Guys started out playing like crap, grabbed themselves by the bootstraps, yanked it up, got it together, and kicked ass and, won a match. And the only thing that annoyed me is that he couldn't just give a simple, and, next episode and everything, he was a lot tamer, but he just couldn't give a simple, good game that he took away from a decent victory for my guys that were in that match. That's the only thing that irked me. And yeah, the match that we had, man. If you watch your video, you can see. Like I said, in that OP, I didn't state anything other than facts. We had 2 guys that had to suicide because they dropped and got stuck on terrain on the first spawn. We had 2 disconnects. We had a guy get in late because he couldn't connect to the match. So really, if you watch that match, the match did not start until our shields were completely gone. And I think you guys had maybe a third, maybe just under a third armor left by the end. I can't remember. It turned into a good match after that. It just sucked that, we weren't able to start until the shields were all gone.
Yeah,
so, that's all it was.
To defend, obviously, like I said, something pretty flippant, but, to slightly defend myself, when talking to Quick Gloves, it was more a case of, I just, want to say something.
Yeah. No.
So I was just trying to, get in there.
Yeah,
I
didn't take any personal slight by what you said, man. But it was just, it kind of went with what I was going for. We were pleased with the initial victory over STB, and all the circumstances of leading up to the match with you guys. I did have guys, online ready to go. That was our tournament team from pretty much 1 o'clock. Hanging around the whole day trying to set the match up. And there was a bit of problems going back and forth and not being able to get it set. And, everybody was gone. When we played that match, I literally had 8 guys, including myself, online to play that match. And
when I was online, I think they were wanting to set it up so that we could record it. And, we just didn't have anyone on.
Yeah.
It was
that's the message I got from Horace, I think. And, he was trying to set that literally right at, and that's why we do have to wrap this up because I'm walking out the door in 25 minutes to walk my dogs.
Yeah,
but it was right at about this time. It was right about this time of the day.
I'm so drunk. I'm sorry.
You wanted to get your report on, which is fine, but the impression I got in that situation and trying to get it set was that it was almost more important to have a recorder on for you guys than to play the match and make sure the tournament goes forward. Because I understand the position Kane was in when he asked me if the match went down later in the night is, things were set up on the eve side betting and the time frame for when the matches were supposed to go and the date and everything. All that stuff was all posted up ahead of time. It was 2 days of frustration on my part of trying to get those matches set, and I went through a nightmare trying to get the STB match set too. But it was a learning experience for that tournament on all sides,
Yeah. Oh, and to follow up the whole you starting the thread because something I said when we went to pick our 8 guys who were gonna go for that rematch, I wasn't in the list. I was all starred because of me, and I'm not even getting to play.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, we should play, man. This whole. I haven't talked to Dent or anybody directly. I know one of my guys who diplos a bit for me spoke with him, and he was told we're going to fight when we have our first district. But that's long enough off, man. We should do a match and have some fun before then, and it does not have to be for 100 mil. We should just play
500 mil.
We should throw those exact same 2 teams together and just redo the whole match, and hopefully nobody on either side, because that was the point I did make in that as well. We had a hell of a lot of technical problems.
Yeah.
But we've all dealt with that, and I did make a point of saying that. I wasn't whining about, we had DCs, we had guys that had to suicide on first spawns. We've all dealt with that crap. We know that court matches can, are even more buggy than skirmishes used to be sometimes. I just wanted a rematch, man. That's all it was.
Yeah. Although, don't say same teams, because then I won't get to play.
Oh, okay.
Me neither.
Let's do one.
Cool. Right. Well, I think that's us. We've been going for 2.5 hours. I need to do this like weekly because it's just going too long.
They don't have much.
Fuck what Kane and Cerebral said. They were all like, "Oh, you can't do it weekly. There's not enough to talk about." No, I just need to bring more people on, I think. But I enjoyed having you guys on, and actually, I'm really glad about that whole drama happening because I didn't know who you guys were before then.
Well, we've stayed under the wire on purpose, man. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to hear, but I don't know if any other corps that are trying to actually do something in PC and plan on moving on to Null have not ever put up a recruitment thread. We've never put up a recruitment thread. We've done everything organically from day one. That's just what we're about, anyways. We prefer to meet people, talk to people, get to know people, and make sure that they're going to fit in with what we got going. I have no interest in just picking up numbers at all.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap this up because we've been going for forever. Any last thoughts? I'll start with you, DS. Last thoughts.
No, I'm just ready to go drink some more.
Okay. You can plug stuff at this point. This is like...
Oh,
what
okay.
it's for.
Cool. Check out my YouTube, DS the Drunk Heavy. Follow me on Twitter, DS the Drunk Heavy, and it's like everything, DS the Drunk Heavy. If you want to play with me, the character name is DS space 10. I made that before I made DS the Drunk Heavy. Sorry, but just hit me up. We'll play. I'll shoot some shit, and you can repair me.
Cool. Danny?
Well, like I say, on the rare occasions I now get to play the game, my Dustmerc is Keval Longstride. So if you shoot me, you've shot it, you've killed the CEO of Dust University. So that's got to be worth some kudos. But yeah, just same as what DS said. Follow me on Twitter, Danny Fleetfoot. Simple enough.
That's you. I do follow you.
Yeah, that's you do follow me. It's a program I just checked actually. I just got Seamus Donahue from Eve suddenly following me, so I thought, woo, hit the big time there. So yeah, most people here follow me. Unbelievably, people forget that. Just follow me on Dust. I usually have something to say most of the day. Usually directed at CCP Nullarbor, tell him to fix that. But keep the faith. Hopefully we'll see you all at FanFest. And I should be fairly easy to recognise because I will be wearing a uniform. So I lost the bet. So I'm going dressed in the full D-Uni uniform that I've had to design. So it's not quite as elaborate as the assault suit that we all saw last year, but I should be fairly easy to spot. Let's put it at that.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for you on the stream. I think I'm the only guy who's not going. And last episode, after we finished recording, I was saying, oh, it's great though, because I'll be at home, so I'll get to watch everything. And then, Hans just said, nah, that's just shit.
Last year was my first one. I was going to go the year before, but when Monocle Gate and Incarno all happened, I thought there is no way I'm missing this particular one because it's going to be the mea culpa for CCP. They're going to be holding up their hands. It's just going to be so much drama. I can't not go. And I had such a good time that I already, when I was still there, I emailed work and booked the following year off. There's no way I'm missing the 10th. There's just no way. So it's all been booked a long time ago. So, and I'm going to be doing everything that they do. So, plus I will be. I did mention on Twitter. Any CEOs want to meet up in a bar at some point and just have a bitch fest about the UI or anything else? I think some of the CCP guys have also invited themselves, so that might get a bit messy. But yeah, if anyone's there, meet up and just follow me on Twitter. I'll just tell people which bar I'm in, so you can all fall in. But I look forward to seeing you all at FanFest.
Cool. Cookie, last thoughts?
Just a quick shout out to my Giant guys and Quick and STB and Subdreddit. It was a whole lot of nothing over nothing. And I just want to give because Sindell's not here, she had to cut out. If you Sindell Pellian, if you haven't heard her songs, go check them out on SoundCloud. She does great stuff with her parodies, and she runs a great Eve charity called the Angel Project that she helps out players in trouble. So you can have a look at her site, blog, Sindell Universe. Other than that, had fun coming on. Thanks for asking.
Cool. Are you going to be at FanFest?
No, I wish I could do this being the 10-year. I will not. I am planning on next year.
Cool.
That's a shame.
When we should have a lot of stuff involved to talk about. I'm going to miss it. I'll be on the HD stream for sure.
Cool. Movado, you going to FanFest?
I won't be going to FanFest this year. Hopefully next year, maybe. I don't know. Too early to tell.
Cool. Final thoughts?
Follow me on Twitter nums_SYN for life. Shout out to my corp mates in Synergy Gaming. Shout out to my alliance mates as well, which Cookie is a part of as well, Cookie and Giant.
Oh crap! Yeah, Eon Raw.
Shout out to those guys. If you want to play with us, stop by our public channel, SYN_ERS public. Please have a sense of humor. Don't be uptight, because we are a very strange group, and we have a very strange sense of comedy. So be prepared to talk about random shit.
Cool.
That's basically it.
Right, that's us for this week. We will be doing this show weekly. Like, I don't give a damn what Kane and Cerebral says. We can do this weekly.
Well,
Screw them.
All the players that you might need any input from. I will try and get the time off work.
Yeah. We next week actually, I got contacted by a guy from the Matani, one of the writers there, whose name I can't remember, but he will be on next week hopefully, along with, I think Kane won't be at a wedding anymore, and yeah.
It'd be a long wedding.
Yeah, and hopefully like drama will sort itself out so other people can come back, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yay, drama.
Yeah, drama.
No.
Oh god, I
You need to
hate.
get Contrabanjo on next week to explain himself.
That would be epic.
Oh yes, I've been wanting to
yeah.
get him on for a while actually, so that would be perfect.
Can we come back?
Yeah, feel free if you have the time.
I always have the time, just don't have the knowledge of Eve. So I'm kind of like half useless.
This was more Eve heavy than like I want it to be though. Like I want it to be focused on Dust, so. But there was some Eve stuff that affected us.
Yeah, just
Stupid
over my
cross
head.
gaming.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Yeah, and like everybody mentioned their Twitters, but like if you go to the video, they're all going to be underneath people's names anyway, because
Awesome.
I do all that stuff. So yeah, see you next week, and thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the new studio, which will look better next week. I'll have like a
Yeah,
better
particularly
camera.
like the Nintendo collection you've got on the top shelf there.
Oh, thank you. There's actually N64, Wii U, Spectrum, DS, GameCube.
Spectrum! Oh, you legend.
Yeah, I don't know
I do.
why I have one, but
You have a working ZX80, unbelievably. So,
ZX80? What does it say? ZX Spectrum Plus. So I have no idea. I think it still works though. I'll find out for next week.
yeah, there you go. That's the uber rare.
Wow.
And this bad boy works. So, the world's first
Awesome.
programmable home computer.
Nice. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. That's enough reminiscing on out-of-date hardware.